I was wondering about our yesterdays and digging through the rubble. And to say the least, somebody went to a hell of a lot of trouble to make sure that when we looked things up, we wouldn't fare too well, and we would come up with totally unreliable pictures of ourselves. But I've compiled what few facts I could, such as they are, to see if we could find out a little bit of something, and this is what I got so far. First, white folks discovered Africa. They claimed it fair and square. Cecil Rhodes couldn't have been robbing nobody because, hell, there wasn't nobody there. And white folks brought all the civilization because there wasn't none around. How could the folks be civilized when wasn't nobody writing nothing down? And just to prove all of their suspicions, well, didn't take too long. They found out that there were whole tribes of people in plain sight running around with no clothes on. That's right. The men, the women, the young, and the old righteous folks covered their eyes. And no time was spent considering the environment. Hell no, this just wasn't civilized. And another piece of information they had, or at least this is what we were taught, is that unlike the civilized people of Europe, these tribal units actually fought. And yes, there was some crude implements, and yes, there was primitive art, and yes, they were masters of hunting and fishing, and courtesy came from the heart. And yes, there was love and medicine, religion, intertribal communication by drum, but no paper, no pencils, and no other utensils. And hell, these folks never even heard of a gun. And this is why the colonies came, to stabilize the land, because the dark continent had copper and gold, and the discoverers had themselves a plan. They would discover all the places with promise. You didn't need no titles and deeds. Then they would appoint people to make everything legal, to sanction the trickery and greed. And back in the jungle, when the natives got restless, they would call it guerrilla attack. And they would never describe that the folks finally got wise and decided that they would fight back. And still, we are victims of word games. Semantics is always a bitch. Places once referred to as underdeveloped are now called mineral rich. And the game goes on eternally. Unity kept just beyond reach. Egypt and Libya used to be in Africa. They've now been moved to the Middle East. There are examples galore, I assure you. But if interpreting were left up to me, I'd be sure every time folks knew this version wasn't mine, which is why it is called his story.
Check this out. I'm going to show you.
I frankly believe that every Negro in the country should learn judo and karate.
How about carrying a weapon?
If it's legal for a man to carry or have in his possession a rifle or a shotgun, especially faced with what Negroes in this country are confronted with, they should have it. They shouldn't go out attacking someone with it, but in the face of the brutality that our people encounter, it's not unjust to teach a Negro to have a shotgun or a rifle in his house.
What if it were illegal to have a shotgun or a rifle in a person's home? Yeah, what if it were illegal? That's correct. Would you still advocate it?
We never advocate. I would never advocate anything illegal.
Even in an area where Negroes could be attacked?
I would never advocate anything illegal.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. All right, y'all, we back again. And my fault for coming on late. And I know it's not a lot of warning. I wasn't planning. I didn't know if I was gonna go live today or not. If I was gonna be back on time, but I was running late, so it is what it is. So shouts out to everybody who will come or who will listen later. So shouts out to y'all. Um, Now I wanted to do this for a couple of reasons, but you know what? Instead of talking, I'm gonna just get into it, And first, I'm gonna just play something, and it don't really have nothing to do with what we're talking about. But I was listening to something, and I found it interesting, which would kind of show like why we have these discussions that we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm gonna just play this for a second, but listen to this, y'all. it's probably gonna freeze up and all this stuff. So we'll see how it go. All right, yeah, it's not playing now.
That the physics makes unavoidable. Melanin, the pigment that determines skin color, absorbs UVB photons before they can reach the 7-dehydrocholesterol in the deeper layers of the epidermis. Darker skin contains more melanin and therefore requires longer sun exposure to produce the same amount of vitamin D. A person with very dark skin may need 3 to 5 times more sun exposure than a person with very light skin to synthesize the same quantity. This is not a flaw. It is an evolutionary calibration. Populations that evolved near the equator, where UVB is intense year-round, developed high melanin as protection against DNA damage. Populations that migrated to higher latitudes, where UVB is weaker, evolved lighter skin to allow the scarce photons through to the vitamin D factory. The physics match the geography. But when people with high melanin skin live at northern latitudes, which millions do, the mismatch creates a compounded deficit, less UVB available from the sky, and more melanin filtering what arrives. Vitamin D deficiency rates in dark skinned populations at northern latitudes are significantly higher than in light skinned populations at the same latitude. The photochemistry does not negotiate with social circumstance, it follows the physics of absorption. If you are over 65 and you spend most of your days indoors, and statistically you probably do, your pharmaceutical factory is running on a skeleton crew. The molecule is sitting in your skin, waiting. The photon it needs is outside. Go outside. That was her prescription. That was the prescription. Now, sunlight is doing something to your eyes that has nothing to do with seeing. And this
Now, I know, especially the first thing I'm playing, that's a little bit left field. I'm starting off left field, but listen, man, these things are important, right? And this is a conversation that we will have. And why there is actual different, why I even make it a big deal, like race is something, is not a social construct, is an actual thing that has effects in the real world. And we know that too many of us, especially like our parents, our loved ones, are sick with the diabetes and all that stuff because our bodies are not getting what they need. You know what I'm saying? Like we're like um dehydrated and malnutrition and don't even know it, right? Because even when we eat, even when we're eating, we're not getting what we need, you know. And as Black people, we need to go out into the sun, you know, and live life and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, now listen, now I do get it, right? Because sometimes I do things to my own way. Let's just put it like this, you know. Um, but even when I'm trying to do like, if you don't even understand the titles that I do or something like that, um, it's supposed to be educational for the most part. You know, sometimes I get this, you don't understand it because I made it that way, you know. But we have to start understanding first this symptom of drapetomania, because then we can realize how much we suffer from drapetomania and the ways that it was we got infected, you know, or the ways that we lack drapetomania, you know. But anyway, man, let me go here. Right. So the most important thing that I can tell you, right, of all of this is this.
You know, it was a time when we used to meet evil on the battlefield, and guess what we did to it? We killed it. When the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, what did we do? We flew to Japan, and we killed the Japanese Army and Navy. I didn't start this fight, you did. You wanted to be left alone, you should have left me alone. We didn't argue and capitulate and talk about, well, maybe we shouldn't fight the Nazis that hard. No, they're bad. Kill them. Some liberal somewhere is going to say that sounds awful. Too bad.
Too bad. All right. Some Black people that love everybody gonna come on here and say, "What am I talking about?" and get offended. Too bad. All right. I didn't start this war. All right. Some people are bad, and it is what it is. and some non-people are bad.
Get mad at me if you want to. Some folks need killing for somebody to say it. It's not a matter of vengeance. It's not a matter of being mean or spiteful. It's a matter of necessity. We have wicked people doing wicked things, torturing and murdering and raping. It's time to call out those guys in green and go have them handled. Those boys in blue, and have them go handle it.
Yeah, facts. And shouts out to Raw in the building. I appreciate you for being here, Raw. Much love to you, you know. Now, I know a lot of black people have been kind of talking about, like I said, I should have showed this the last time, right? Because this has happened, the Alabama brawl, you know. And I think 2 days ago was the anniversary of it, you know. So we got to hear some of this, you know, because sometimes people need to get disciplined. It just has to happen, yo. Now we're gonna get into the main topic in a second, but
yourself. Like, is this? I got.
oh, my bad. This ain't even. I shouldn't even go here first. Matter of fact, let's just see if we can find the video first, y'all. Might have got it here.
This is breaking
My
news.
bad for being all over the place. I was rushing.
Tonight, we're following breaking news near Montgomery's Riverfront Park. A fight beside the river.
All right, so let's see. I'm not sure which one I had the video. Maybe this one. My bad, y'all, for being all over the place. But it is what it is. Now I'm trying to see, this is what I'm saying. They took the actual video off the page, you know. I'm not sure. Damn, y'all. I had it, but I don't got it no more, so let's see. All right, this might be it, y'all. So hold on, give me a second.
Goddamn, bro, I never thought I'd see this shit happen in real fucking life. What the fuck is you talking about? Yeah, right there, nigga, straight smoke signal. It's chestnut checkers. Big Buddy had to eat a couple of them, but he got his signal off. He ready to shoot the fade with Larry the Lobster, but he already know he outnumbered. But as soon as that hat hit the ground, nigga, every super tough nigga in the area start scrambling. Thank God he got that signal off, because now he getting jumped by the racists. How I know they racist? Because these niggas swimming in khakis. Who the fuck does that? Bro, if these niggas don't hurry the fuck up. This first nigga coming down used to set the edge for Virginia Tech. Look at that shit, nigga. At first, he just wanted to calm the situation down because it was still too many of them, nigga. But now we got reinforcements coming. No, not the security guard. Black Aquaman, nigga. Hey, once they seen this shit happen, it confused the Caucasians, nigga. They start scrambling. Bro, they're in the fucking water now. What the fuck? Bro, that Smurder hat got him Black Aquaman and two other tough niggas. And you thought that he was just gonna stop because now he's safe? Hell no, it's time to get my lick back, nigga. These niggas marching down there like the nation of domination. Now, I know it's finna get good. You know why? Because these niggas got on jeans and sneakers and they pull their pants up in unison. Now they want to talk. Dude, let me explain. It was your guy. He fucking started the shit. Bro, what the fuck? Damn, he smacked you in front of your bitch, said, I'm the captain now. She saw that shit and Karen started screaming, nigga. That Karen screamed like they had signal. All of a sudden, nigga, the biggest Brad of all time showed up. This motherfucker ran to the ring, get his ass whooped at the Royal Rumble. I know it's hella shit, but look at Karen in the green dress. She done turned this shit into pandemonium because she hit the fake police. Survivor Series, bitch, she gets your ass whooped like everybody else. It's ass whoopings everywhere, and the real police done showed up, and they got pepper spray. But ain't none of that stopping Ashley from getting her ass whooped. She got mollywopped and tossed over the top rope into the river water, back to the squared circle. Now that Chad and Brad know the police is there, they back tough again. They came from under there like some roaches. Nation of Domination don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You finna get slid anyway. This where it's fucked up. Big Brad right there ran under the pier, jumped in the water, and left his homie out there. Now somebody mama got sent to the Sandman, and that ass whooping was for him. Where are their fucking parents? Well, I'm glad you asked. Brad and Chad's dad trying the same shit, but hold on. They been whooping ass for way longer, nigga. This is gonna get ugly. Hey, go watch OG come through here thumping shit, nigga. He came through swinging them bitches like King on Tekken. But he didn't come by himself. He brought Mrs. Molly Whopper and her sister. Right when I was watching to see if they kicked Karen into the creek water, the camera panned out, and I never expected this. Uncle Jesse done had enough. Everybody get their ass whooped. Security, ain't you supposed to be down there? No, nigga, fuck that. I'm on break. OG chasing him down because he gonna give you the ass whooping he owe you. Hey, remember Karen? I told you Jesse said anybody could get it. Bro, he had her look like Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, nigga. He took 2 inches off her height, nigga. You for
Yeah, man. Shouts out to those warrior brothers and sisters down there. And matter of fact, let's hear from the young brother who jumped in the water.
So at this point, it'd be easier to just...
So yeah, we'll celebrate the holiday, y'all. I thought I had that, but I don't got it.
Jump in this water. Do we know what's in the water?
Gators, snakes.
You knew that prior.
Yeah.
And what did you tell yourself? Like,
it's just, when I told myself I had to do what I had to do, it was just get there in time to help.
Right. And you had your shoes on too.
That's right. Do what you gotta do. Get there in time to help.
As a person that watched it, I'm just like, I know I'm seeing all the risk.
It's called Draptomania. Like, it just goes out the window. You crazy. You crazy if you think you're gonna go against this Neanderthal male, right? It's called Draptomania.
And when you feel compelled to do something in your heart, would that be kind of accurate of like, you just kind of like zoned out on what you needed to like get accomplished? Like, what was that feeling?
It was just something, I was compelled to do it. I wasn't worried about myself. I was worried.
What Nina Simone said, something inside of me compelled me to compel them, right? Something just was compelled this young brother.
Compelled to do it. I wasn't worried about myself. I was worried more about my friend getting harmed than myself.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see myself
more worried about
someone who I cared about.
The next man.
Just watching that. I couldn't just sit on the sideline and just watch that.
Yeah. So as you swimming through the water, what's going on in your mind? You just like thinking to get there. You're not thinking about the gators. You're not thinking about the snakes. I don't even think you can you even see in the water? Like, is it?
You can see in the water if you dive in a little bit, but
at any point did you get like afraid, just from a stamina standpoint? Like, so you knew you was gonna make it.
I knew I was gonna make it.
Okay. Now you already had in mind a game plan of like what you wanted to do when you got there. Was it more like to defuse it? Was it just to be able to create presence? Like, how did you feel like when you jumped in the water? Like, what did you think your goal was?
My goal was to help him, get them on my
brother had Draptomania. He wasn't thinking at all.
Use harm, or if I had to do what I had to do, then in that situation,
right, to defend yourself and defend him,
I had to do what I had to do.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah. Now, when you saw everyone.
Hey, what's going on, Matron? What's going on? Shouts out to Matron in the building. And if y'all not subscribed to her, make sure y'all subscribe to her, because she's reading a good book, interesting book, to say the least. So make sure y'all subscribe to her. We just talking about this where everybody was talking about the anniversary of the Alabama brawl, you know.
Turns out that 65-year-old man could really throw him.
3 years.
That shit was too funny. Don't take your head back over there on that dumb shit. Stupid.
I'm trying to talk black.
It
You
is
too, boy.
August 5th, 2026. 3 years ago today, you may remember this image. Yes. I'm talking about the infamous Montgomery Brawl. I wonder how those folks are doing.
I'm gonna get to the topic because
I wonder how they are doing because they did not know it at the time, but they really changed the game. And honorable mention to the man that swam to the fight. Can we check on him? Because I really hope he has a nice pool pillow every single night. I really do. We should never forget the Montgomery Brawl. Never. I'm going to be thinking of those people very much today. And I hope they have a wonderful.
Who this?
no, all facts, you know. And the thing is, right, because I'm not sure if y'all know what Draptomania is, you know. But check this
I
out.
know that in terms of leadership, the culture of it, the way that we do it now, has to change so that we really see how the contamination of this empire is in us. That's
Right.
that Trojan horse within us.
It means like the rest of us are sick because we want to be free. Yeah, we talked about that last time. The young sister that was you know, hanging. Yeah. And you know,
And if we're not factoring how
I
to
don't
deal with
know.
that, we will eventually repeat
It's hard to
the
keep talking
madness
about
of
that
the
because it
empire
keeps
and
happening. We
defeat
don't do
our
anything.
own goals. So it has to change. Don't give up what you do or who you are, but we have got to find a way to be on some common page and come join us now to help shape this, because we all got so much to offer. We should not be like feeling like we're battling different organizations because we're not on some ideological agreement.
Teach, brother.
Yeah, and so the last thing I'm gonna say, like in where I'm at now in Providence, there was beefs between one organization and another over ideological shit. And I said to them, what block do you control?
Teach.
What are you beefing about? As if you're on the precipice of capturing state power tomorrow. Be real. I know that
Yeah. And we got to be real, you know. And who do we worship? You know what I'm saying? Like the young brother, he said it. He was like, man, I wasn't thinking of myself, man. I just wanted to protect my people, my family. You know, I just wanted to protect my own. You know, we're not looking at each other like with hatred for each other, you know what I'm saying? But I wonder how we even get that hatred within our spirits, you know what I'm saying? Because look, we already know. My bad, y'all. We already know their mentality, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. It was another one. Yeah, I know. We was just talking about that. Unless you said it was one that happened today or something. That's what you're saying? As I ain't see another one, but it was, if it was one that happened the other day, yeah, we talked about it. I seen that, and I showed, like, you know, the picture of her.
On control. White people focus on takeover. Black people don't focus on that. Black people focus on soul. And where that soul comes from is family ties, soul ties, food, festivities. That's what brings
Spooked
everybody
out
together.
stuff, yeah.
A round table, a big mama table, a big mama.
Let me run it back. I'm sorry.
Let's get into
White people focus on control. White people focus on takeover. Black people don't focus on that. Black people focus on soul. And where that soul comes from is family ties, soul ties.
Like, that ain't right. That ain't right.
That's what bring everybody together. That round table, the big mama table, the big mama house. White people ain't got big mamas. White people ain't got OGs. White people out here playing in the basement. They mama working 12, 15 hours at the hospital. They down here trying to figure out how to put a pipe bomb to take over here and kill everybody. It ain't the same. It ain't. You'll never find a black.
It's not the same. And yeah, and I'm gonna look it up as soon as I get off of here, Raw.
They mama working 12, 15 hours at the hospital. They down here trying to figure out how to put a pipe bomb to take over here and kill everybody. It ain't the same. It ain't. You'll never find a black boy in a basement nowhere in America making a pipe bomb to go kill a bunch of white people. You'll never see it.
Why?
You'll never see it, bro. No. You ain't gonna see it. So when we talk about tradition,
and here he is as a Neanderthal trying to talk like black male. That's what I'm saying. You see this matron? He is white. That's why he looks white, because he is. But he not, yeah, I mean, but he's trying to be like you. He's trying to have that soul and all this other stuff. You know what I mean?
In America, making a pipe bomb to go kill a bunch of white people.
Nowhere in America. Or
you never see it, bro.
Might be one somewhere in the world.
When we talk about tradition, culturalism, stuff like that, black people just got that rhythm.
At least 5.
That rhythm comes from a long time of being in the fields, a long time of understanding where culturalism comes from.
Yeah, he's a white boy.
You know, they're gonna crack that whip, they're gonna put your foot on their neck, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna throw scraps at you. The thing about black people, they knew how to take all that pain and turn it into purpose. They took all that pain and that suffering and made families. They took all that.
What is the purpose, though? What purpose are we trying to turn whatever it is into, though? Like, are you trying to tell us we should just be cool with this docile
pain and
mentality?
suffering and talked about it around the round table.
We got Draptomania around here.
Turning into fun. You see, white people don't do that. White people
now we gonna start turning into business. How about we do that? That's a safe middle ground for us, right? Where we can turn it into business. Because now we're realizing, hey, although I believe all, like, what, 48, 40, whatever many presidents, all was against us, all of them. Now we're realizing, hey, this one, because I was complaining about all this stuff that y'all saying now, but y'all was against me. And this, not saying y'all particularly, but even like family and stuff, I was like, why did this happen? You're just a racist and just blah, blah, blah. But now that you have one that was just going to tell you to your face, even though all of them did the same thing, I'm like, this is why. Maybe I'm tripping. But at least this one is waking you up to where you're like, hey, we need to focus on our money and our business. And so that's a good thing, you know? You gotta look for the positives, I guess, you know, in the world.
About control and takeover. So I just think the difference that's
before I unpack this shit, let's establish.
All right. We don't need you to unpack anything. All right. Because this is their mentality. They think about I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but just what he said at the
black
beginning.
people don't focus on that. Black people focus on
how long? Let's get into.
White people focus on control. White people focus on takeover. Black people don't focus on that. Black people focus on soul. And where that soul comes from is family ties, soul ties.
He's missing the main place where your soul comes from. Because he's still a white boy, so he doesn't understand the spooked outness of it all. Because we all know where soul comes from.
I'm pop star Zarlar.
So I'm not going to even tell y'all the answer, because we all know already. But she's going to explain to you the rituals that they practice to gain this energy, this whatever, from your blood, sweat, and tears, to put it in the mildest way that I can.
White people often think of lynchings as something that happened in the dark of night when a few rogue characters whisk a black person away and murder them.
Matron said, we need to stop turning that pain into purpose and turn it into justice. We need to go back to defending the things we own so that we can control something too. Exactly. It would be great if we can control what we eat, because I showed this earlier and why these things make a difference, and just because you hear Mason, I just wanted you to hear what they're saying.
Produce the same amount of vitamin D. A person with very dark skin may need 3 to 5 times more sun exposure than a person with very light skin to synthesize the same quantity.
Or at
This is
least
not a
the
flaw.
right kind of
It is an
foods and stuff for
evolutionary
your body.
calculation. Populations that evolved near the equator, where UVB is intense year-round, developed high melanin as protection against DNA damage. Populations that migrated to higher latitudes, where
Or
UVB is
kidnapped
weaker,
or
evolved
kidnapped in
lighter
y'all case.
skin to allow the scarce photons through to the vitamin D factory. The physics match the geography. But when people with high melanin skin live at northern latitudes, which millions do, the mismatch creates a compounded deficit. Less UVB available from the sky.
We like, why are we always sick and taking these? Well, not only because of the diets and all of that stuff, but also we don't even get sunlight anymore. You know what I'm saying? And we get sick because, you know. But then also they practice these rituals.
White people often think of lynchings as something that happened in the dark of night when a few rogue characters whisk a black
Why are they
person
playing this dumb
away
music?
and murder them. And maybe that's what's happening today in the lynchings that are occurring today. But historically in this country, I think we need to be aware of a different reality. Lynchings in American history of Black people have taken place in a ritualistic way. There's an order to it. And it looks like this. I'll illustrate with the case of Jesse Washington. Now, Jesse was a 17-year-old kid. He was a farm laborer.
And Ross said there were black businesses. Hold on, my bad. Said there were black businesses without the warriors to protect them from the Caucasoids, and they destroyed it all. Warriors first before anything. And the first thing you need is like whether you're a scientist, electrician, or a warrior, is the right mentality, which starts within the schools thing. Because another title that people didn't understand is ideological subversions, right? And the brother was just talking about ideological differences that we have between each other, and we sit there and argue back and forth. And I would say all of them, but most of them are not even our ideologies. We're practicing other people's ideologies, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get there, you know what I'm saying? So no matter what we do, and yeah, I definitely, that's what it's gonna take, but I don't know. We're doomed. Yeah, bro, we keep doing the same thing over and over.
In Waco, Texas was notorious for stuff like this. Here's the
So it was
first part
like
of the ritual.
Florida and
He was accused
Virginia
of murdering a white woman.
Mississippi,
Her name
Alabama.
was Lucy Fryer, and she was his boss's wife. Well, he got a trial. It lasted about an hour, and the jury deliberated for just a couple minutes before they sentenced him to death. And what happened next is this pattern that happens throughout history in all these so-called spectacle lynchings. A crowd storms into the courtroom. They seized Washington and dragged him through town. Now, sometimes they break the guy out of jail. Sometimes they go to his home and drag him away. And then there's the audience. In the spectacle gatherings, there can be a big crowd. There were 5,000 to 10,000 people at Jesse Washington's murder.
See, and she would be one of the ones that be like, yeah, I was a reporter. She didn't do nothing to stop it, but I reported on it, so I'm a good one. But that's a whole nother conversation. My bad.
And they brought picnics. There were photographers. It was a party. So this was a community event that white people did to bolster white supremacy. Oh, good. We're going to have a lynching. And let's plan for that. We know what goes into a lynching. It's always the same. Let me bring in the point about this being a family affair. Businesses closed, schools let out, and children were an active part of the lynching scene. This creeps me the fuck out. Then comes a period of torture.
Welcome to the GED Academy. My name is...
Oh, yeah, we can't forget to make money off of this stuff.
It's rare for someone to immediately be hung to death. Usually there's torture first. In the case of Jesse Washington, this 17-year-old kid, he was hung by a chain over a tree, and then the chain was raised and lowered into a fire below his feet repeatedly for approximately 2 hours until he finally died. During this process, while he was still alive, he would occasionally try to pull himself out of the fire because his body was burning. Well, they didn't like this, so they cut off his fingers so that he could no longer pull himself out of the fire. So after...
Oh, they shot his, or maybe she's gonna say it, they shot his arms until they was broken, and his legs and stuff like that,
Mr. Washington died, people rushed up to the remains and cut away pieces of Mr. Washington's body as souvenirs.
Fought over them.
Children participated in the dismembering of the body. Boys pulled the teeth out of his skull to either sell or keep for souvenirs. Now, it is not easy to get the teeth out of a young adult in their prime. They had to use force. They had to have teamwork. And the children did this. Children stood over his burnt
Y'all keep asking me why the babies. I'm just saying.
body and pried or broke teeth from his skull while adults watched.
Well, participated.
And then after it was all over, the photographers sold the pictures. They sold the pictures of the murder.
They was like stamps and stuff like that.
Ritual of racial terror that was witnessed, approved, and remembered apparently fondly by an entire community.
Yo, what's going on, my brother? Yeah, postcards.
Hey, what's up, forecast?
Nothing much, nothing much.
Hey, give me a minute. Let me go fix my drink real quick. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah,
Our
postcards.
culture, such as it is, devised a system of ritualized murder of Black people. Those kids
Specifically.
lived on, and they raised kids. A kid who participated
One of her parents,
in
probably,
a
most likely.
lynching raised children. And those children grew up, and their children are alive now.
They don't have tear ducts, y'all, so she's crying right now.
So
it's not about whether she cares or not. It's just biological differences because they're different. So there you go.
can see how the ritual destroys the notion that this was just random crazy acts and supports the notion that this was a community
They are their ancestors.
event that was ritualized and valued. Religious leaders were often involved in the accusation and in the trial and participated in the lynching.
Not the religious leaders.
Curious.
Hell no. That cannot be true. Or it can only be true. One or the other.
1951. One of America's
Huh?
No, I was just saying I'm back, man.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I was just saying I'm back.
Oh, okay. Did you see that?
Yeah, I caught that part about the lynching of Jesse Washington. Yeah. You know, I read a lot about that, man. You know, that was Hey, go ahead and finish with what you was doing, man. I will catch up.
All right. So the thing about it is, right now, I know you guys have heard of it, but I know maybe apparently a lot of people have not heard of the term Draptomania. You know what I'm saying? So, one thing about our ancestors that is rarely talked about, which we need to talk about because we're the only ones that's going to do it, is a lot of our ancestors suffered from Draptomania. You know what I mean? So they wasn't just like they would send them out of their town. There's a reason why they got these established towns all over the place. They may have destroyed a few that you know about, but there's a reason why most survived until at least the 50s. You know, and that's a whole nother story with integration because, like I said, it's by them, done by them. But anyway, Draptomania, y'all. So.
Draptomania and the Ghosts of Language. The year is 1851. One of America's most respected and widely published doctors.
Forecast.
Yeah.
Forecast. Because you know, for everybody, for the listening audience and everybody, could you just give a definition of that real quick, man, of Draptomania?
Well, he about to give the definition right here. Like
all right.
The actual definition. Like because and this I also had something, but I didn't pull it up, but it goes into the whole medical field too. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother topic. But the first point of order, I guess, is our mentality, our mindset. So
Adolphus Cartwright pens an article in the popular news magazine DuBose Review. In the article titled Diseases and Peculiarities of the Negro Race, Dr. Cartwright discusses two diseases which he claims are unique to African Americans: Draptomania, a disease which causes slaves to run away, and Dysaphagia aethiopica, a disease causing rascality in Black people, both free and enslaved. In the case of Draptomania, Dr. Cartwright makes his diagnoses plain. If the white man attempts to oppose the deity's will by trying to make the Negro anything else than the submissive knee bender, which the Almighty declared he should be, by trying to raise him to a level with himself, or by putting himself on an equality with the Negro, or if he abuses the power which God has given him over his fellow man by being cruel to him or punishing him in anger, the Negro will run away. But if he keeps him in the position that we learn from the scriptures he was intended to occupy, that is the position of submission,
good slave owners, y'all.
and at the same time ministers to his physical wants and protects him from abuses, the Negro is spellbound and cannot run away.
Love them good white folk, y'all. They right though. He was right. Because Negroes love them some good white folks, boy. I tell you. So he was right. So we ain't gonna say he was wrong.
Boasted and marketed itself on its ability to, quote, recommend the
They say, what's wrong with us for running away? That's why we the only ones here right now, y'all. They said, what the hell? We got to be sick. So we probably are, you know.
Best practices for wringing profits from slaves, end quote. By 1861, start of the Civil War, DeBow's Review was the most widely circulated Southern periodical. It was the Fox News or Daily Wire of its day. Dr. Cartwright was by all accounts the most prominent surgeon and medical scientist in antebellum Mississippi. He published more than 80 articles in the national medical press on a spectrum of topics, winning many medals and prizes for his original research and contributions to medical literature. His influence extended beyond medicine, and he involved himself in state and national politics, becoming a widely known slavery advocate and publishing articles on slave physiology and health. More from Dr. Cartwright, quote, if treated kindly, well fed and clothed, and not overworked or exposed too much to the weather, they are very easily governed. More so than
That's
any other
kind of true too. Negroes better go to sleep so you can be to work on time. I'm telling you. He's like, long as and you ain't gotta have the perfect conditions, just not enough so you'll die, you know.
people in the world. If any one of more of them at any time are inclined to raise their heads to a level with their master or overseer, humanity and their own good require that they be punished until they fall into that submissive state which it was intended for them to occupy.
They said if at any time that they thought that they can raise their head up and be like us or anything or not our animals, then they should be destroyed, basically, you know. And they should be punished, right? So if you stand up for yourself, you should be punished, right? So let me see.
Or overseer, humanity and their own good require that they be punished until they fall into that submissive state which it was intended for them to occupy. End quote.
Yeah, you say you got a question?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. What I was saying for okay. You know, when I asked you now, remember I've seen this, not this program, but you've discussed this before about Draptomania. You know what I'm saying? And we was talking about we was running it then. So I mean, I know what it is. Like it's for of what they saying on the thing right there. But the reason why I asked you, I said I wanted you to give me an explanation. I wanted you to say it. I wanted you to give me an interpretation of it because that's the interpretation of the old white man back then. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted you to give an interpretation of it as it relates to us now. That's where I was going with it. I already know what it meant by that. You know, because you know we had the discussion before. But that's what I wanted though. That's what I wanted you to give me an updated, a modern explanation of Draptomania and how it applies to us now.
Well, there is no updated model. Like as many black folk will tell you, the good white man is right. You know what I'm saying? There are good ones, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta be sick because we know, like we dare to raise our head up like we're better than them. You know what I'm saying? And according to him, that means we sick. You know what I'm saying? That means we got Draptomania. And maybe more black people will be getting Draptomania, but I mean, hey, I'm just a Negro. I can't say it better than a Neanderthal male, apparently, you know. So he said
Now
it.
you know, okay, okay, yeah, like I'm saying, you funny book. Okay, but like what I'm saying though, like like I said, I know what that means. You know, I mean, I'm not lying. I know what that means. I know some people in the chat or in the audience may not know.
You
But like
got
I said, we had the
Draptomania,
discussion.
brother.
Huh?
I said you suffer from Draptomania, brother.
Yeah, okay, I can handle all that. What I'm saying is
Me
this right
too. I
here.
do too.
Yeah, I want to get our perspective. You know what I'm saying? Our definition of it. No, we have it. I already have. We call it menticide. It's called by Dr. Bobby Wright. Call it menticide. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, you know, so yeah, we have a term for it. You know that's been discussed. That something that's been came up with our people. But that's what I wanted you. I just wanted you to give us like a synopsis of the whole thing, like in our terms instead of that, because we already know. I mean, you know, you got some old Southern white man plantation owner talking about treating niggas right and all this old bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff out of the 19th century. You know, well, of course we know what he said, But I'm just saying, I just want you to let's talk about how it applies to us today. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It applies to because you would still have Negroes coming on here and telling you that like they tell you all the time about the good white folks, brother. Like I don't know, like it's true. Like they do. They come on here. They don't have Draptomania. Like we speak in English. You know what I'm saying? Like hey, they make that. That's what it is. That's is what it is. You know, a Draptomania is a runaway slave. Black people don't even want to recognize that we're slaves. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't even get us to recognize that to break out of it. So how can they have Draptomania if they don't even know they slaves in the first place?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. All right. So look, I'll show you right now. Look, brother. Like watch this. Why we don't have Draptomania? Right? You can't tell me it's your
So for the white
brothers
people
and
that,
a little weak out here, brother.
hey sis, so for the white people that have anxiety when it comes to people of color, black people, or immigrants, thinking that there's a great replacement theory and all this stuff, do you understand where that comes from? Your own people, your own white ancestors created that anxiety in you because they treated everyone in this world like trash. So now you're scared that those people that they treated like trash are going to treat you like trash and widely get rid of your existence.
And Farrakhan said it that he said, "You are afraid that if we ever come to power, that we are going to do to you what you and your fathers have done to us." Now, the second part to his statement,
Even in that, you're still trying to find a way to blame the black people, the people of color, and the immigrants for that anxiety. We don't want to replace you. We don't want to.
and the second part of Farrakhan's statement is, and you judge us by the contents of your own mind, and that is not necessarily the mind of black people. Why not? Why isn't it the mind of black people? Like the dude said, all we want to do is maybe you missed this part, my watch this. Listen to what this brother said. See, this is the spooked out thing. We don't say this is it mean the same damn thing, brother. Because
People
listen,
focus on control. White people focus on takeover. Black people don't focus on that. Black people focus on soul. And where that soul comes from is family ties, soul ties, food, festivities. That's what bring everybody together. That round table, the big mama table, the big mama house. White people ain't got big mamas. White people ain't got OGs. White people out here playing in the basement. They mama working 12, 15 hours at the hospital. They down here trying to figure out how to put a pipe bomb to take over here and kill everybody. It ain't the same. You'll never find a black boy in a basement nowhere in America making a pipe bomb to go kill a bunch of white people.
if he does, he would have Draptomania. You feel me?
Never see it. You'll never see it, bro. No. You ain't gonna see it. So when
you're not gonna see it. All right, so all right, back to his brother.
Overpopulate to the point where you're no longer in existence. That's not. We don't have an agenda here. Your ancestors,
we don't.
Your current living.
We don't have an agenda. See, it would mean something different if we could come up with our own stuff and create our own industries and make our own language and do our. But no, we don't want to do that. Like so. They call me. They used to say I'm racist and stuff, but they would back in the day. They would say I had Draptomania. You got Draptomania. Like that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like even menticide is something that they come up with when in their psychological terms in their medical professions. You know what I'm saying? And Draptomania was the original term for the same thing. You know, but the point is it's still them doing them and we adopting their mentality in this weak ass mindset that we got. You know what I'm saying? Black people ain't got it, we ain't got the juice. That's what I'm saying. Like we don't even know what Draptomania is, because somebody was why I should stop calling it titles like that because people wouldn't know what it is. But that's the point, you know what I'm saying? Why don't we know what these things are? You know what I mean? So
get rid of us. So your anxiety comes from your own people creating that energy in the world to where they treated everyone like trash. Now you're scared that you're going to be treated like trash. Hey, you can't blame black people. You can't blame people of color. You can't blame immigrants for that anxiety. You caused that. Your people caused that.
You want to say something, my brother?
Oh no, go ahead.
Because I know you're gonna like this next part too, right? Because we got to go into it too, right? And that's why I'm glad you're here. You know.
The only thing that people of color and black, I always say people of color and black people separately because there's a difference. So people of color and black
Why
people
you gonna
are
say
just
them
trying
at
to
all,
exist
fool?
in the world. They're not trying to replace anyone. That's not in their nature to try to
It's not. It's not in their nature to conquer. So we must be crazy then.
are just trying to exist in the world. They're not trying to replace anyone. That's not in their nature to try to conquer and replace. We're just trying to like live and exist and experience life. We're not trying to take over the world. And
Does that sound like a modern Draptomania, bro? Like I'm just saying. Like I'm just saying. Like not necessarily judging off us, but it's just a few of us. So what can we do? You know, it's where black people at right now. That's not Draptomania. The white dude was right. He was like, why would a black person with a good slave master ever try to run away? He would have to be crazy, you know what I'm saying? And you got black people, oh, I'm American, like because y'all like to say that, but it goes with every black person in every kind of category that there is, including him who didn't say any of that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But he's talking about black and brown, like which gives it away. He don't got Draptomania for sure, you know. Um, so yeah, the dude was right. Like, I mean, like a broken clock is right twice a day. So maybe he was right about his synopsis about Draptomania. That's what I'm trying to say. So what you think about that?
Yeah, cool. It was another part you was gonna go to. You said you want to talk about.
Okay, I'll go to it.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'll check that out. Go ahead.
Shit. Okay, yeah, here it is. So listen to this, man.
Thank God for white people. Sometimes I go down on my knees and pray for them. Because I don't know where would I still be. I would have still been walking around with leaves. Yes. Or a farmer.
The minute this guy started talking, I knew he was a religious man. I knew he was a Christian. This is their mindset. If you dock a slave ship for him, he's going to enter willingly, him and his church members. He's not joking. He's not kidding. He is thankful for the white man. He prays for them and to them. This is what you're thankful for. The white man looked into the future of Africa and saw that if he doesn't interfere in the growth of these people, their growth would be unimaginable. And here you are thanking him for interfering. There is something wrong with you. You are happy that the white man stopped you
There's
from farming.
something
And this
wrong
goat
with
is
you.
hungry. You can tell he's a hungry person. This is the mindset of the average Nigerian, no jokes. These people are not a minority. This is a
So we can't just
majority.
say it's one group of black people.
Your
Maybe
mindset is that Africa
Draptomania
was
is
full of
a
leaves before the white man came. We know
rare
nothing about
disease.
ourselves, about our history, and we are fine about it. As long as we keep living in a tomb-like houses with ACs, Africa should have been left to evolve. And there was never any point where we were picking up leaves or living in trees. You goat. I hate that in 2026, I'm still talking about stuff like this. We need to do something. We need to make sure that these people become minority. He's a slave for life and his children are going to be slaves too, which is
He does not have
course.
Draptomania. I agree with her.
A colonized man
She
gives
might
birth to
got it.
colonized children. His colonized children gives him colonized grandchildren. And so the wheel keeps turning.
Thank God for white people. Sometimes I go down on my knees and pray for them. Because I don't know where would I still be. I would have still been walking around with leaves. Yes. Or a farmer.
The minute this guy said,
And like Lord, you have to give up your entire being for this, you know?
Spirituality is not demonic.
Many are partaking in this dangerous practice without full knowledge, without full understanding on what they are getting themselves into. Do not worship the dead. Why? Because you are entering into a realm that you do not know how to navigate.
As he
You are
worships a
opening
dead
doors
man from like
that you will
2,000
not
years.
be able to close. And my brothers and sisters, if you are in Christ, or say you're in Christ and you are practicing African.
See, Raw picked it up earlier. She was like, yeah, you heard that God thing, you know. Now we ain't
Close.
talking about anybody's. I
And
guess we are
my
talking
brothers
about
and sisters,
particular religions,
if
you
you are in
know.
Christ, or say you're in Christ and you are practicing African spirituality, then my friend, I hate to tell you this, you are trying to
You
do
suffer
the
from
impossible.
Draptomania.
You are trying to mix and merge diabolical with holiness, unholy with holy, sacred with profane. That's what you are trying to do. And in turn, if you are not careful, you will not only become oppressed, you will become possessed.
More oppressed and possessed than we are right now. Damn. So you hear that, brother? He said, "Don't worship your ancestors."
That was it was hilarious. Actually, it was funny.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Maybe is we the sick ones or is they the sick ones? Somebody's sick here. That's all I'm trying to say.
I don't know what nobody else is. I can only speak for me. But you know what I'm saying. But don't bring your Quran, your Bible, your Torah, none of that shit nowhere around me. You know, because to me, them all that's demonic. That's demonology. You know what I'm saying? You know, I stick with my African thing, man. You know, that's what I do. I stay over here, man. You know, it works for me.
See, one of the most effective ways, especially for us, that there could be mind control is through I'm gonna just say spooked out practices that some black people may or may not have, right? And it takes a lot of that energy that you may need to get this justice that we're supposed to have, you know. And it strips you of your drapetomania because you, like he said, if you got a God-fearing good slave master, you're crazy if you're trying to run away from that. You crazy, you know. But I don't know. According, let this brother speak, you know. I'm tripping. It's your boy here.
Here, and I'm not going to be much longer with y'all. I understand we need to move beyond color. I'm not about that, but y'all raised it. If you start it, I'll end it for you. Don't start nothing, it won't be nothing. But we got a problem. Black people got a problem. Now we can move to color blindness and always look at the man by the content of his character, never the color of his skin. I'm down for that. You get my vote. Yay and amen. I'm for that. But before we get there, we need to hear some truth. Black people and white folk. Black people got a problem. And it's a God problem. When black people see the world, I don't care. You can train them. You can train a black man to be a physician. You can train him to be an astrophysicist. You can train him to be a lawyer, but you can't train him to understand the world. He doesn't know. I'm telling you.
Now, y'all be against him, but you know what? I kind of, in this moment, and I just seen the clarity. He was right about that. You can't train you. We literally have astrophysicists who build stuff for another group of people to oppress them. You can't train black people to see the world right. Can't. Well, you can maybe train the babies, but not anybody born after this moment I'm speaking right now. They're doomed. You know what I'm saying? But maybe somebody born tomorrow got a chance. But maybe he's right. Maybe you can't train black people to see the world like they supposed to. I don't know. Maybe he's absolutely right. You can train them to be rocket scientists, but they're gonna build they're gonna build rockets and satellites and other stuff so other people can profit off of it, not even themselves. That's crazy, you know. I don't know. Buwana in the building. It's your boy here, Buwana.
There's not 2 cents worth of difference between a mass murderer. There's not 2 cents of difference between a petty thief that's locked away in prison than a black doctor when it comes to understanding the world. Listen, you listen to me. We got to deal with this. And we need to begin to acknowledge it, talk about it, ask God to help us because only God can help black people where they are. Black people had Africa, that big old continent over there. They never built one boat that was seaworthy, not one. There's not one monument in Africa, in all of Africa. I know you're talking about Egypt. Egypt is not Africa.
Oh, okay, my bad. I'm tripping.
There are no great cities that were built. Even before the first colonization of white people coming to the shores of Africa or the slave ships, black men built nothing. No sewer system, no houses above one level, and none of them made out of stone. All of them made out of grass and wood. Black men, before the white man ever got to Africa.
By the way, if you building houses out of grass, you bad. I ain't gonna lie. Like I want you to build my house with the proper tools. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be nice.
The worst thing that could ever happen to South Africa was when they gave it to Nelson Mandela and black folk. That was a great nation. Now, notwithstanding apartheid was wrong, we all know it's wrong. I'm against it. There should have been some other resolution, though, than turning it over to Nelson Mandela. Disease, AIDS, and crime is running wild in Johannesburg. They're killing one another over there. They're dying of sickness. The government is mismanaged. The people who ran the nation are now leaving the nation because black folk don't know how to run no nation. They don't know how, and we need to admit it. I know you don't like it, but you need to stop.
What the white boy said? Neanderthals right, broken clock right twice a day, my brother. I ain't agreeing with them. I'm just saying the broken clock is right. He said if you got a good ass slave owner and a good God fearing slave owner, you know, a Negro would be crazy to try to run away from that or get away from that or break that up.
Yeah, this was the slave. These were the slave pastors, man. These the original slave, like him. These was the ones who the white man set up there to preach over you to keep you in slavery, to keep your man in slavery. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he don't give a damn about real history or our story, of real shit that happened. You know what I'm saying? He got an agenda, and his agenda is to keep your black ass under the white man's foot. You know what I'm saying? No, he's a perfect slave pastor.
That's our boy. He said, does he have members? Is this your pastor? It might be his pastor. I don't know. He says, this Anthony pastor. I don't know, brother. You went to his church?
Who said that?
Buwana.
Oh, I know Buwana playing, and Buwana, you better watch out. You know, hey, you better watch out because I got these. I'm sipping on something, and I can turn on you in a minute. I'm gonna bet I bite.
Mason said he does not know our history. This is the type of black Christian they want. He worships the white man. Whiteness is his God. Well, who do you worship? You know what I'm saying? Like, now we would be the ones walking out of the thing like, yo, now we know. But they would be, that's the thing, because we still in the same position that we was back then, but we don't know it yet, you know, is that we the ones in the woods trying to like congregate, like how we gonna get out of here? How we gonna break this? How we gonna do that? How we gonna go after Master and his son? Because I'm tired of what they did to me today, you know. And they was like, yo, them ones is crazy. Master something is good now. Like, it's some good white folks now. It's Master whatchamacallit is good now. Y'all tripping.
Hey, in 4Ks, you know, another thing that I like to say, I think a lot of times, not us, but I'm saying too many times, we don't give our ancestors enough credit. Man, our ancestors knew that bullshit. They didn't believe in this white man religion. And it's like, I mean, some did, some got it, some accepted it because of they were brutalized and terrorized into it. And say, look here, you know, all right. But look here, but I think that at least half, the other half of our ancestors, they didn't believe in that shit. That's why so many of them rebelled. That's why they had so many rebellions. You know what I'm saying? That's why so many of them escaped and went and found, you know, maroon communities in the bush and in the backwoods, in the forest and the swamp. That's why so many of them did. And we don't give them enough credit. More of them did. There were many of them right there. That's what I meant to I had this thing, man, I wanted to send to you. And somebody sent me. And they was talking about it. I know you read a little bit about it. But okay, we know about our ancestor Nat Turner in Virginia, but there were many more other than him in Virginia. I mean, in that one place in Virginia. They established so many maroon communities in Dismal Swamp area and that backcountry in Virginia. It was a shame. I mean, they had many of them, forecast, a whole lot of them. Some of them that last for like 50 years and stuff. Like at the beginning of the U.S. Civil War, there were like at least 50 black maroon communities in the whole southern United States, part of the country. 50, not 5, 50, at least 50. I mean, the ones that they've documented. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, our people, we don't give our people enough credit, man. We always rebelled against that shit. We rebelled against that shit from day one. You know what I'm saying? And even when they was preaching their slave religion and putting these slave pastors up there in front of us, and these same pastors who we still got today. As a matter of fact, I think our mind more fucked up now than it was then. You know what I'm saying? Because I think we had a greater spirit of rebellion back then. But I'm saying we had plenty of them. I mean, there were many of them forecasts. I mean, in Virginia, and in the Carolinas, in Georgia, all over the place, Alabama, Miss, all over the place. There were free black communities, maroon, these people who escaped and build a life for themselves. Man, we had plenty. We don't give our ancestors enough credit, man. We didn't go for that bullshit.
Yeah, they said I don't know if it's true, and this is only documented that it was 84 rebellions in Virginia between like during the whole process, basically from like the process from 1600 to like 1800s, it was 84. Well, that's the documented ones. Um yeah, so absolutely, that's facts. That's facts, my brother. It was Draptomania was much more common back then than it is today, for sure. Um, let's see. All right, we can skip this. We
We
can
got a
skip him now.
problem. Nigeria produces
All right, I love him.
every year, yet the children over there are hungry and pot-bellied and walking barefoot. We got a problem. You talk about the Hutus and the Tutsis. Look what's going on in Zimbabwe now with Mugabe. We got a problem, black folk. And forget about Zimbabwe and South Africa, Nigeria. Look at what y'all have done in Harlem. You can't even hold on to Harlem. We got a problem. Black folk don't understand the world. You can get mad with me all you want. You can say what you, but you can't prove me wrong.
Yes, that is true. I could not prove him wrong that we don't understand the world, for sure. Now, most of the stuff that he said, yeah, it was wrong, but hey, what are you gonna do, right? Now, I don't know. I had something else and it was supposed to play it, but I don't know how it led into it. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, okay. So now watch this, right?
Yo, so
What, 24 what?
we went from good Christian to nigga so bad. Look, please stick around. Please stick around and watch this entire video, dog. This shit is hilarious.
What, 24 what? You know who the
That's
fuck
a real
you're talking
nigga right
to?
there. Watch
That's
this
my
shit.
turtle trend. Okay? I'm fucking native.
Okay.
And you're gonna come talk to me, and you're gonna tell me the fuck
He's native. He paid
Who the fuck
$5.
are you, nigger?
Okay, so let me read you something.
Who the fuck are you, nigger?
Let me read something.
Yeah?
You see, he was trying to read him the Bible. Dude just stopped and pulled the gun out in his face. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead and fucking read.
Let me read something.
Because you're gonna fucking preach, nigger?
Let me read to
And then
you.
you're gonna fucking talk to me?
Let me read to you.
Who the fuck are you?
First of all, you gotta calm down.
I gotta calm down, but you're gonna call me a fucking imposter.
Yeah.
You're here fucking protesting
I am.
my
and I have a
fucking
right to.
clan. Yeah.
Can
But
I-
you're here
can I read
protesting my clan.
If you were here.
And then you wanna fucking talk to me
If you were-
about this or
Now you hear that? He said, "You're here protesting my clan." Right? Because he understands. See, he sees the world as, hey, I'm a Neanderthal. This is my clan. You know what I'm saying? Like, or as my brother MG2 said, hey, well, I wouldn't call them lions, but we're whatever. They're Neanderthals, but he understands the whole clan thing. But black people don't seem to understand that. We don't see the world like we're supposed to. you know, except for a few of us. But then they say they say we're sick. They say we got Draptomania for having that mindset.
Shut your fucking mouth.
If you were here,
Shut the fuck up.
I'm reading about the tribe of the Native Americans.
You think this is a fucking joke?
You're drunk.
Listen to the black person's mindset, right?
Drunk.
Good Christian boy right there. Good Christian boy.
Nigga.
And Christian white boy.
Gangster.
Okay.
But hold on. Hold on, nigga.
And you hear fucking
Stay
talking
here.
about fucking naval, tribal fucking things?
You see this? This is live.
I don't give a fuck.
You see this? This is how it is. This is how it is for us when we come out here. Hey, this
For you.
reminds,
Oh,
this,
wait.
This reminds me
for you?
of Victorian Dundas.
Oh, for you, right? You're a fucking black man. You're talking
So
about my
what?
fucking people?
But we're brothers. If you are a Gadite, we are actually brothers. This is what I'm.
Now tell me that preacher wasn't wrong. He said we're brothers. If you're truly Native American, then you my brother. You know what I'm saying? Now the other group ain't my brother. That, as y'all would say, the Hamites ain't my brothers. But which I don't understand, by the way. It doesn't make sense. How? What the hell would the Native Americans, quote unquote? Because that's a dumbass name. Because like America is just like the last thing that was over here. But like, how would they even be a part of that tribe in the first place? If everything was happening over there, how would the people over here be a part of the story? I'm not getting that part of it. But anyway,
Talking about.
we just
Yeah,
gotta
that
love
come to you
everybody.
and I ask you.
So he said, you talking about my tribe, and then the brother was like, hey, you are my tribe. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're truly Native American, if you paid your $5 like you're supposed to, and you are official $5 Indian, you's my brother, right? Yeah, this was an old video.
Yeah, hey
You're a
man.
fucking black man. You're talking about my fucking people?
But we're
Okay.
brothers. If you are.
Yeah.
I just, for the life of me, I can't understand that part right there either. How we can have some brothers, you know, who will be, you know what I'm saying? Who will include the like I don't even like that word either. Like you call the Native American, the indigenous people, the people who were here. You know, they would say they're my kin folks. They would say Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, Latino people, they're my kin folks. But another black brother in Africa, not your people. You know what I'm saying? You say no, these East Africans, these like you got the Hamites and all this stuff. These not our people. But these motherfuckers that don't look nothing like you are your people. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't understand that part, man. You know, again, it's part of the mental side, part of the brainwashing. Go ahead, bro.
Is they certainly don't have Draptomania, that's for sure. They think they do though. It's levels of like psychology, which is why we needed like Dr. Welsing to study these things, you know what I'm saying? Like because it's levels too. Because then you have the levels where you think you have Draptomania, but you really don't. And your coon chip is fully activated, but you think you're not, you know what I mean? And this is why I be like, y'all, I'm not hard on the coons because a lot of people don't realize they be cooning or whatever, but that's a whole nother story.
Gadite, we are actually brothers, and this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they come to
but
you
you're not
and I ask
listening.
you.
You're
No,
not listening.
shut up.
No, I don't.
Shut up.
I'm trying to teach you.
If you was in my clan, boy, you was the servant in my clan. Don't you get it?
You don't need to shut up.
Yo, bro. Yo, bro. Pop back the hammer and bust your face. Bitch ass. Bitch ass. Yo, bitch ass. Get the fuck up. Get the fuck up. Get the fuck up. You know who you talking to? I'm fucking crazy. You don't know me. Now you're leaking. You should have been speaking. Now you're fucking leaking. Bitch ass nigga. Bitch ass. Don't ever come up here and listen shot my shit. Now you're all leaking. Get the fuck out of here. Now I took your gun. What are you gonna do? Now I took your gun. Now I can fuck you up. Who's the bitch? Yeah. Hey, your gun is fucking unloaded. You're a fucking buster too. Fucking wankster. Fucking wankster. Fucking homo thug. Bitch nigga. Yeah, bitch.
Now, if you do the proper paperwork, I'll give you your gun back, of course. Now, brother, this is a visual of just like where we are today as far as it goes. That's why he was right. I mean, like the broken clock is right twice a day. The Neanderthal physician of 1800 was right. He said Negroes in a good position who think they comfortable ain't gonna do a goddamn thing, and the ones who do is crazy. It got to be some kind of disease. And shit, he's turning out he was right. I guess this is what Negroes do: run down there and do nothing.
Now, what you run down them steps for? What you run down them steps for?
And ain't gonna do nothing. Now, brother, my good brother Anthony, this is your chance. You could get off of here and run before I talk about not run. I didn't mean to say it like that, but before I talk about something that could get us both canceled again. You know.
Hey, before you do that, I just wanted to say one thing. Okay, here in Louisiana, in New Orleans, back in I think it was like in 1900, 1901, something like that. It was around that time, like 1900, 1901. It was a brother. He was from Mississippi. His name was Robert Charles. Okay, now he had been like an activist. You know, he had been like an activist, like a black activist. You know, he was fighting for black people. He was an activist in Mississippi, but eventually, he moved to New Orleans. Okay, he was at a friend's house, at like him and another brother. They was at a lady friend's house. Police came by, and white police, being white police, seeing some Negroes somewhere, and had to go fuck with them. Well, anyway, they got into it, and Robert Johnson ended up smoking his ass. Matter of fact, he smoked two of them. He smoked and killed one of them, and he shot the other one. I think the other one might have lived. No, one of them they shot him too, but he got away though. And so he escaped, you know what I'm saying? And the community was kind of looking out for him a little bit. You know, he had hid in a building somewhere. But eventually, somebody snitched. Some happened. And so a whole group of white folks got together, found out where he was at, trying to get him out the building. So he seen him, and he was up there. He had his gun. I don't know, he had a rifle or something. He had more than one gun. And he shot about 27 of the motherfuckers. I think he killed about 7. He shot 27. The write-up in the paper, now that's the story, but the write-up in the paper, and it was all over the United States at the time. And what it was, deranged Negro flipped out and shot 27 white people. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, Draptomania. You know what I'm saying, boy, again? They were saying, exactly. instead of him, this black man just fighting for his humanity. Fight, you know, him saying, fuck that, you ain't gonna do me like this. Hey, if you bring it to me, I'm gonna bring it to you. I'm gonna get you out of my face. They fashioned him in the newspaper as a deranged, crazy Negro, a psychotic Negro, flipped out and shot 27 white people. You know what I'm saying? That's what they had in the newspaper all over the country. You know, he flipped out. This crazy nigga went out and shot 27 white people. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'll say. I'm thinking about the whole Draptomania thing. You know, if you got Draptomania, if you a crazy nigga that say you don't want to be what they want you to be. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be a slave. No, you don't want their foot on your neck. You want to be free. You know what I'm saying? I just thought that fitted in with the conversation of Draptomania, you know. But, you know, it wasn't that he just wanted to stand up for his manhood and for his people. He was crazy. You know what I'm saying? He was crazy.
Yeah, and that's Ida B. Wells wrote a book about that. Is Mob Rule in New Orleans. I should ask Matron to read that one too. Is a good book, you know. And she wrote about that story about that brother. But yeah, Robert Charles, and yeah, he killed like I think 13 or something like that. So, um, yeah, Robert Charles is a hero. You know what I'm saying, that black people don't even know about. You know, but he was a hero, and all because he wouldn't let them quote unquote profile him. You know, but and look, and this would I guess would lead into the next part, right? So now I'm gonna warn y'all. This is shyster talk. You know what I'm saying? And I know y'all don't like that. That's why I got
How did he
blackballed
say
in the
this?
first place.
Let's get into it.
Listen to this though, because I'm asking you,
Uh-huh.
what's up? Well,
One Jewish.
he said the pastor said, "Oh, speaking of a pastor, bro, have you ever heard of this brother? Have you ever seen this brother right here? If it pop up, if it come up, um, hold on, let's see. Of course, it's freezing up. I probably shouldn't have did this, but this is a Have you ever seen this guy here, Reverend X? He used to come on TV like super late back in the day, like
What is his name?
Reverend X. Hold on, you gonna see it. It's freezing up, but it's gonna play.
Just by
Hold on, my
thinking
bad.
about it. Meet baby.
All right, hold on, my bad.
Me, you know, cause I ain't following Whitey's rules. Like me, you know, cause I ain't following Whitey's rules. You know, big Are you laughing, biatch? He after me, bitch. I come in the name of Jesus by the power of the Holy Spirit. God Almighty, you know, rule of heaven and earth and every goddamn thing in between. You understand
No, I don't never see none of his live shit, but I know other people who talk about it though. Yeah, I know other people talk. You know, he was a joke to me. They showed me video. It was just a
Yeah,
joke, man. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, he used to come on TV like super late back in the day. But anyway, that's what black people are, though. Jokes, aren't we? But listen to what he said, right? And shouts
I
out
use
to my good brother MB2
algorithms
for
like ChatGPT to help.
damn, how many
It
commercials
was
they gonna
so
play on this
useful to
show?
brainstorm how to wear them for different occasions like work,
We're gonna
going out,
stop.
running errands, and date night.
All right, all right. I don't know what's going on with this show. It won't even like stop.
That just sounds racist. It sounds like you're saying one Jewish life is worth hundreds or thousands of Palestinian lives.
Not million. One Jewish life, it's 10 million, okay?
That just sounds racist.
Yes, I know. I know. But this is the truth. Because God chose us. Because of this, you are jealous. Now, after they kill one Israeli people, we need to kill all the people in Tel and Sarah, even Jit and Farata. Why? Because we don't want it to happen again.
Whoa. No, before this Negro come with his non-draped, that's some damn drapetomania stuff right there. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, we know that they're deranged and stupid. Of course, you know what I'm saying. But yo, why don't we have this mindset? I ain't even gonna. I'm gonna just
A
play it
Jewish
again and
life
just be like,
is worth
don't think about it as in, oh, poor Palestinians. Let me stand up for Palestine and all the poor. No, like, hold on, yo. One of their lives is probably worth like 20 million. Like, okay, they said the Civil War was reparations, right? But it was like what 12, 13 million of us, but it was only 600,000 of them in the Civil War. So that means they got 11.3, and then you gotta realize, right? It takes probably three of them to equal one of us, right? So there's that tax on it. You know what I'm saying? With what we said on all of that, so it probably gonna take another 33 million of them for the reparations that they're gonna have to pay. If the Civil War was the reparations, they still got like 33 million more to go. Right? So imagine if you pay $6 on a $300 light bill. What they gonna do to your lights? Right? So I'm just saying.
hundreds or thousands of Palestinian lives.
Not million. One Jewish life.
I I got more Draptomania. This is my Draptomania because I only said 3 of them is worth. And y'all would look at me like, oh, that's crazy. He said 1 is 10 million of them gotta go. Because 1, you harm 1 hair on 1 head, 10 million of them gotta go.
It's 10 million, okay?
That just sounds racist.
Yes, I know. I know. But this is the truth.
This is
Because
the
God
truth.
chose us. Because of this, you are jealous. Now, after the
Because we can walk in the sun, and for this, they are jealous. This is the truth, you know. It sounds that way, but it's the truth. Y'all, you know, y'all used to call me and Cassandra and all of y'all here racist. Y'all don't call because y'all still here. The rest of them who's not here used to call us racist, you know. But
we kill one Israeli,
also the shyster that be
we
running
kill all the
this
people in tell and say,
platform be
even
blocking my
55.
channel. So
Why? Because we don't want it to happen again.
there you go.
God didn't choose you, you fat fuck. Your God supposedly chose you and abandoned you several times. If we want to be accurate, your God is not the God.
Ye is the
And being
synagogue of
honest,
Satan.
your God honestly sanctioned the very thing that you're doing in your holy book. So y'all seem to be just a genocidal people, to be honest, if we're being real here. And if you're a Christian, you worship a genocidal God because that's what they were doing to the Canaanites. The same thing that's happening to the Palestinians. They just didn't have bombs. Now, this is not about Jews because you don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist. And I want people to have religious freedom. Worship whoever you want. But if that worship of that specific God tells you that your life is more than tens of millions of people, then I don't want you to have religious freedom. I don't.
Yo, we doomed, y'all. He don't have Draptomania at all. There's a lot of not a Draptomania must be a rare disease that he does not have Draptomania. Right? He wants you to believe what you believe, but if you believe that you not equal and we all should share what I have, then something is wrong with you. You got
Fuck you.
Draptomania.
Fuck your God. Fuck your belief system. If your belief system says that you're more valuable, your one life is more
Okay,
precious.
can I intervene real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, you know what I want? You know what we should do? What I love for Matron to do, because she reads so much better than all of us. Me anyway. What I'm saying, I would love the Matron in her spare time one time to come up and read from the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Those biblical scriptures where they talking about the ancient Israelites. You know what I'm saying? And the parts where they said what God instructed them to go and massacre every man, woman, and child. You know what I'm saying? To commit genocide, to burn the cities down to the ground, to kill every man, woman, and child, kill the animals, salt the land, and everything. You know what I'm saying? Because all that shit is the base. That's all that shit is the basis of Christianity. You know what I'm saying? And the basis of Western ideology, where you had in the 19th century, where you had what it called manifest destiny. All of that comes from out of the Bible. It comes from out the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Because they fashioned America as a Christian nation, European nations are Christian nations. You know, all of it comes from out of that foundation of them going somewhere and taking over somebody else's shit. You know what I'm saying? Killing all of them off, genociding them off, taking it over and parlaying it into an empire for themselves. You know, like the so-called ancient Israelites did, you know, the ancient Jews did, you know, which we know they some fake motherfuckers anyway, and they never exist. But I'm just saying that whole mythology, no, that's what Western imperialism was built on. White nationalism was built on. That same thing. And I just love for us, even if Major no had time for us to do it, let's just read it one day. You know, that shit there, you know, the ancient Israelite history, you know, the real stuff, you know, that nobody else want to talk about their God telling them to go and commit genocide. No, I just love to do that shit right there. You know what I'm saying? I might post something tonight. Ain't no telling, man. But yeah, you know, let's talk about your God, the God of mass murder and genocide. You know, because that's who them people is.
Yeah, well, Revelations 13:10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword, and whatever else it says after that, you know.
Yeah, and then don't forget that part. Don't forget that part of you are of your father, the devil.
Yeah.
We got to read that shit.
People hate y'all because of your behavior and your ways of thinking and the fact that you're a danger to the planet. And it's not because of where you're from. It's because of how you think, how you behave.
You could ask your uncle. Well, they might think and behave that way because of where they're from. I mean, being stuck in those dirty, dark caves all the time, killing and eating each other.
Not
all
because
day.
of who you are as a group, a nation. It's who you are as people in here.
Your heart,
If
your
a
soul.
person who looked like me was saying the same shit, I would be saying the same thing.
See, if a person like me was saying the same thing, he would tell us that we got Draptomania. He would cuss us out and turn us in. Be like, yo, these Negroes got Draptomania. They think that he said 3 of Neanderthal lives is what, and he said 10 million of them. So I'm tripping. I got Draptomania for sure. I mean, I don't got Draptomania because
Yeah.
I need to get
Hey,
on his level.
yeah. Hey, and you know what? Forget what small tidbit. That sister right there. I think that's Lynn and Googie. She a bad woman, man. She always come up. She always presents some good stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, she don't necessarily just she show it to you and let you observe it. You know what I'm saying? And then she'll have a little commentary about it. But usually she's all 100% on point though, man. On a lot of her stuff, man. You know, so I mean, you know, as a sister from the continent, because you don't have that many of them who really tell the truth like that, you know, in public places. You know, that's a bad sister though, man.
Yeah, for sure. Let me see. I think that was it. I don't know. Let me see.
Because that is sick.
It is sick.
It's
Draptomania.
That is disgusting.
For sure. Now, what is not Draptomania? All right, I had to do this, right? Now, oh, damn. I forgot what. I had to put your boy in there.
What
I had the
can
right one, but I
do,
lost it.
and what
So
can people who are on the outside do? Not just share a "I stand with Israel" flag, unless that is all that we can do. But please educate me and tell me, like, what can we do to
First of all, this is a lot. This is actually a lot, because one of the things that the Jewish community have been dealing with when there are anti-Semitic attacks happening, when there are attacks on Israel happening, that we feel very isolated and we feel like nobody is reaching out and we feel like people don't understand what it is that we're going through. So reach out to all your Jewish friends right now. Know that they all feel under attack. Israel is the homeland of the Jewish people. The Jewish people
get
have
your Jewish
originated
boy up, my guy.
from Judea. Like, this is where all Jews come from. This is our ancestral land, and it is under attack by a bunch of barbaric monsters.
Not
So
your ancestral land.
Damn, I don't even have the right one no more. My bad, y'all. This guy's he be tripping me out though. I ain't gonna lie. He's like, what can we do to help them out more? And I had one because let me see here. Okay, let's see.
I'll keep this quick.
All right, because they brought up something here that I wanted to talk about, and I got the wrong one. So
Hey, before you get to it, look here. Do you ever see this commercial? Do you ever see this commercial they have on? It's still, look here. I remember this commercial 20 years ago, and they still running it. They talk about helping these poor Jews, these poor Russian Jews, you know, many of them Holocaust survivors and stuff, and how it's cold and how with the wave of anti-Semitism and all this shit, the same old shit talking about helping these Jews in Russia. They've been talking about the same commercial. It's the exact same commercial. Ain't nothing changed. It ain't updated or nothing. The same commercial. They was showing that motherfucker back in the 1990s, early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, man, y'all need to go along with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You know, that shit make me sick, man.
Yeah. Now one of the things that I think that girl did, and I had it set up because she mentioned the dude, but
Best-selling
it
author
was
of
in
Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man and the host/producer of the Emmy-winning series of the same name, Noah Tishby, is a New York Times best-selling author of Israel, a simple guide to the most misunderstood country on earth. And also,
all right, damn.
well, I like that.
So anyway, so she was a part of something else with
And that's what, hey, Forecast, you fucked up for doing that.
What?
Putting Hacho, Manuel Hacho on there.
Yo, he was saying
Hey,
some
man, you
goofy
driving
stuff,
the
but I
one for
lost it,
doing this
bro.
shit.
I lost it, man. Damn. I'm mad that I lost it. Because it would have led to me to my next thing. Because she mentioned another brother that I just had to say something, you know, no disrespect. But
Yeah, you would put the king of all African coons on there.
it was like, oh, you don't hear me. It's like anyway, I ain't gonna go there. But damn, I don't got the right thing. But listen, man, so this white girl I think had something to do with damn, I wish I could find it. Oh shit. So I'm not sure where it's at, but so she mentioned the guy, your boy Henry Louis Gates, right? And their alliance, and she was like, yeah, this is a question because she helped them make this thing, and they had this push for the Black and Jewish alliance and stuff, you know. And like this guy in particular angers me because like how are you a historian, a Black historian, and you say stuff like this, you know, like even the brother like Greg
I
Carr,
hate it.
like
Yeah, I
how do
hate
you
him.
call yourself a Black historian and you don't recognize the truth about history? Like that doesn't make any sense at all, you know? Um, damn man. See, I probably had it here.
When I was growing up, I only thought.
Damn, hold on. I probably got it. Let me look here. See, it's gonna put up the stuff we was just watching. See, yeah, this is this girl here.
Slept like a hero.
And then they had these kind of Black and Jewish in America. And of course she brings up the good brother here. All right, my bad.
The
Oh no,
footage
that's not even the right one.
and just
But
the the
it
great
was two Black
subject.
people having
It's
this
kind of like you
conversation.
don't even know how.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna find the right one. My bad. Y'all gotta forgive me for this real quick. Let's see.
Yeah, I just talk while you doing that. Man, the Negroes like Henry Louis Gates, Cornel West, Michael Eric Dyson, and some more of them old Selwyn Coach, some more of them old coon, them old ass kissing Negroes. I just despise them, man. I mean, I despise everything Henry Louis Gates stand for, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that dude, I mean, you know, you can say every now and then he'll slip up and tell the truth. Okay, you got it?
Well, this one of them.
Okay, go
There's
ahead.
a lot of things. He's a TV personality, sports personality.
It's your
He's
boy.
a big thinker. He's an author. And today we're standing together, fighting anti-Semitism and elevating the issue in the sports world. You were
Not
awesome.
anti-Blackness or none
Here.
of that,
Thank
but
you, man. Had an
anti-Semitism.
incredible conversation. It was with Julian Edelman, with Van Jones, just talking about Black-Jewish Alliance. The fracture between the Black community and the Jewish community, I think, has led to an even greater divide societally. And so trying to find ways for us to heal it on a micro level so we can heal it on a macro level.
Let's work together to do that.
Have to.
Let's do that. Let's solve this anti-Semitism stuff, man. What do you say? And well, what about anti-blackness? Well, we'll leave it at that. Damn, yo, it was an interview with the.
Hey, Forecast, have you ever seen his show Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man? You ever seen that?
Yeah, I showed one of them on here. He was
Yeah,
saying some dumb
and he
stuff.
absolutely say absolutely nothing about white racism at all. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Nah, well, I don't know, yo. So we'll just go to this.
That relationship accomplished incredible things.
So she mentioned Henry Louis Gates, and then
When I was growing up, I only thought of race in terms of black and white. It wasn't until much later, when I learned about anti-Semitism, that I realized blacks and Jews face common enemies. But when we stand together, we are
they are the enemy.
Force.
The relationship between African Americans and Jews in the United States, it's not a simple story, and it cannot be a simple story.
It's very simple. Every time they be like, it's not simple. It can be made simple. They're trying to complicate it, trying to convolute it. Right? They came over here. They were slave owners. They started Wall Street. They did everything that they could to destroy you, and still do. Right? So it's not that complicated.
A long history.
When these two communities get together and they synergize creatively,
See, first of all, was this the NAACP?
Americans and Jews in the
right?
United States, it's not a simple story, and it cannot be a simple story.
It's got a really long history.
when these two communities get together and they synergize creatively or politically, they're a juggernaut and they can't be stopped.
Jewish people have always been some of the first outside of the culture itself to embrace black music.
A white Jewish producer and the greatest black jazz singer of
You
all.
mean like exploitation? They was the first ones to exploit us and take our talents and give them these crazy deals and take all their money and promote, especially promote the music that we listen to today. I mean, they was the first ones to do that. Really?
Embrace black music.
A white Jewish producer and the greatest black jazz singer of all time. Why can't the world be like this?
By the way, the world is like this.
She told him I not live because they're killing folk in Selma.
I think the civil rights movement healed our souls after Nazi Germany.
There was a very visible Black-Jewish alliance during the civil rights movement.
That
That was not. Hold on, I'm gonna go to this one. Right, listen to this.
When I was growing up, I only thought of race in terms of black and white. It wasn't until much later, when I learned about anti-Semitism and the Holocaust, that I realized how endlessly flexible the idea of difference can be. Across history, Jews have been mocked and feared, blamed and banished, envied and imitated.
Now, the thing that they leave out is like they don't get thrown out of countries everywhere they go for no reason, though. You know, they do a lot of grind. That's why they get the name Shyster. You know, it's something going on. If you get thrown out of every single country you go to, like you got to ask questions like, "What is going on here?" You know, culture bandit for
And
sure.
so have black people. We share that experience.
We don't share.
And we
anything.
share something else as well. A duty to keep fighting hatred wherever it shows up.
Blacks and Jews were able to come together for what, in retrospect, was a pretty brief period and create enormous change in the country.
Why did the NAACP support the creation of the State of Israel? Why did
That's a good question. Why in the hell would the NAACP support, especially when most black people be like, "Free Palestine, free Palestine"? Because that was another. Oh, that's the part I left out in his video. This is where it comes up.
Hey, yeah, before Kez, we forget the NAACP was founded by Jews.
Oh, that's a so now, man, that would make sense why they supported Israel, huh? Man.
Yeah, it was founded by Jews.
Now listen to black people
Boy,
though.
something has to happen revolving around Israel. Oh,
Something
look
has
at
to
this
happen.
video.
Repent for Germany. I repent for Europe.
Korean government will stand with Israel.
Forgive us for all the things that we did not support Israel.
Forgive the nation of Korea who spoke the word against Israel and people of Israel. God forgive.
No, it's a video of a sister who got fired because she said free Palestine or something like that, right? Not even like, yeah, free Negroes, but free Palestine. Did you see that? But the sister got
Yeah, I
fired
seen
for it.
it. Yeah, I seen it.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought it was right there. So it wasn't.
Jews support the civil rights movement. Black.
Okay.
And create enormous change in the country.
Why did the NAACP support the creation of the State of Israel? Why did Jews support the civil rights movement? Black and
Oh, did they support the civil rights movement? Let's hear what they had to say themselves.
Like most Americans, mention of Selma, Alabama reminds me of one thing only: the civil rights struggle. And so when I met recently with members of Selma's tiny Jewish community, I wondered whether they were as proud as I was taught to be of the role Northern Jews had played in defending the rights of the Black community.
They should have stayed home.
Why
They
is
didn't
that?
do anything but cause trouble. We had a rabbi that was here that threw eggs at the mayor's house. He got arrested, and of course, who should he call but the Jewish people to come get him out?
Judge Edgar Russell called me one night and says, "We've got Rabbi Gumbiner in jail. What should we do with him?" I said, "Let him out in the morning." That's what they did.
And the yeshiva group came down from New York.
Yeah.
And they walked by our store every day. And I finally got up and said, "Look, take me to your leader." He said, "Okay, there he is." I said, "Now look, you've been giving me business every day. You walk by my store. Go across the street and give my competitors your business." Yeah, they did. Never spent a dime.
Turns out that while most American Jews were shepping nachas over the members of their community thumbing their noses at the white establishment, Selma's Jews had more immediate concerns to worry about.
The Black community was boycotting all merchants, Jewish and otherwise.
Now, see, this is the part they leave out when they say, "Oh, the shysters was helping you," and they was boycott. They was the ones getting boycotted because they had stores in the Black communities, right? And he tell you like, "Well, they was not shopping at our stores." You know what I'm saying? We had the stores, and they were actually boycotting us. You know what I mean? So
All merchants, Jewish and otherwise. The only customers that they had left were the white community, and they couldn't openly support the Black movement without alienating the few customers they had left.
I had a Black woman who was the best sales lady I had in the store. And I went to her and said, "Annie Pearl."
they mad because they getting the land stolen that they stole. Ain't that something?
"You're too good a sales lady, and I'm going to put you on the floor." And she would work. And she said, "Mr. Cohn, I'm scared to death. I don't know what will happen to me." And I said, "It's going to come in."
All right. This is stories about them not giving a
We
damn.
stood on the street and watched them, and Reeves, I'll never forget this, Reeves was playing a music. Bye bye.
Remember that girl was talking about the lynching thing where they all watched.
Looking back on it now, I mean, I know it was the right thing to do. Then it was just, it'd been status quo for so long, and we thought everybody was happy the way things were. So why mix it up?
There were a good many Jewish people young people who came with the marches, and a few of them came to town.
And by the way, for y'all to be like, "Well, see, there was some." This is what I got to say to you. I'll let the good brother, Khalid Muhammad, say it. Hold Hopefully. All right, here we go. Yeah, I was gonna be
They're Jewish war veterans, and over 50,000 of our men died. They're fighting for your right to speech here now. I don't understand why you come out with such hatred.
Bill, and for you and for others to attempt to tell me one of the truth. I speak to the pain and hurt of the masses of black people. I speak that which many of them wish they could say. That's why they cheer and applaud.
Speak to Mrs. Goodman,
and I speak
say.
that also,
Speak to
which
Mrs.
many
Goodman.
of them only whisper behind closed doors.
See, like, you know how like 6 or 7 people will say, "What about Schwerner and Goodman?" This is 1994. How about you get some new material before you say Schwerner and Goodman? You know, it was even like other. I'm not gonna give it to you, but at least say the white bitch. I probably shouldn't even said that is the white bitch, but Khalid Muhammad
I
says it's
think it is
best.
very arrogant to put this on the screen and for you and for others to attempt to tell me one of the Holocaust victims of the African Holocaust, displaced in the death and decadence of the diaspora of the Western world after having been robbed and raped and murdered, to tell me how to hurt. These are strong words that you put on the screen, but you cannot tell the aggrieved and the victim. As I was talking to Brother Malik Zulu Shabazz, the young student warrior from Howard University, and we were going over this. And we said, how do they expect to tell we who have suffered so much how we should speak? When you're hurt, you'll say faggot, you'll say cracker, but you don't want to give me time to say where these terms came from and how they apply to your people here in America.
You feel it's true. Do you have any?
I don't know why they were there, and you don't know why they were there. But I must say this.
So you're
I must
wondering
say
whether
this.
they were there for your people.
I'm not wondering at all about them.
It's true that I don't want to give you time to explain the...
Anybody who says Schwerner and
words.
Goodman.
It is also true that you apparently don't want to respond to my question regarding the loved ones of 2 Jews who lost their lives to stop the diaspora of the black people.
I don't know.
Do you have any?
I don't know why they were there, and you don't know why they were there. But I must say this.
So you're
I must
wondering
say
whether
this.
they were there for your people.
I'm not wondering at all about them. I'm concerned with the suffering and the pain of the masses of black people. No one wants to pay reparations. The Jews received over $100 billion in reparations and gets $4 billion annually. A Holocaust museum was set up for them on this soil for over $200 million, and they get $21 million annually just for operating expenses. But the Catholic Church, the Pope, the Jews, the Arabs, white people in general, no one wants to pay reparations to these, the sons and daughters of Africa. So I speak to them. I don't speak.
And by the way,
He gives them the guns and the weapons and the drugs and the alcohol, the way you did our brothers, the red man and the red woman, brothers and sisters, the way you did our Latino brothers and sisters, and then you pit one against the other and then say, look at what these people are doing.
oh my bad, that's the wrong one.
After all that we have gone through, I know that there's a little bit of Hitler in all white people and a lot of Hitler.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
Right, exactly. So, and by the way, Hitler was also a Jew, so that's white on white crime. But anyway, I don't know why they were there, and you don't know why they were there.
Jewish people recognize only when everyone is safe are we safe.
There is a history that we need to regard and respect. We would not have got certain things done without those alliances.
But I don't want to be accused of romanticizing the golden age of racial relationship between Jews and blacks. It wasn't an untroubled relationship.
The golden age, by the way, the Jews and blackface. Well, they apologize, but I want you to see just like so one thing that they did was the Irish and the shysters used blackface to try to fit in, you know what I'm saying? And these are most of the famous ones, and they still use the blackface thing today. So Both Jewish and Irish immigrants use blackface minstrelsy as a primary tool to transition from marginalized outsider immigrant groups into accepted members of mainstream white American society. While Irish, right, the poor Irish that y'all love so much, by the way, immigrants dominated the genre during its 19th century origin. Jewish performers became its leading stars in this early 20th century, in the 1900s. So that's the golden era. Um, and the brother was like, "Oh, it made me realize this after um, Charlottesville and the hatred that they had." You remember this happening, my brother? Like what happened to Henry Louis Gates? Now he didn't sit there. He didn't got arrested at his trial. They said he was breaking in his own house, and he's still saying all of this nonsense about anti-Semitism.
Yeah, I remember it.
It's crazy.
You got some footage of that?
Yeah, I'm about to play it right now.
Raised questions about civil rights and racial profiling. A 58-year-old black man was arrested at his own home by police looking for a suspected robber. The story grabbed national headlines because the man in question is one of the nation's most prominent African-American scholars. Our national correspondent Jim Axelrod has more.
This is not how Henry Louis Gates is used to being seen in public, handcuffed and being taken away by the police.
Will it lead to the mediocrats changing the subject?
This is perhaps America's best-known African-American intellectual and director of Harvard's African-American Research Institute. Gates was arrested for disorderly conduct last Thursday at his home in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
No, he was a part of American history, getting arrested and facing the same thing for breaking in his house for living around some white people. And he still is the African American history scholar that's telling you to a Jewish and Black alliance and it's complicated and stuff. Like, really, is it?
Gates arrived here at his home early last Thursday afternoon after a long plane
How
flight.
is this a Black scholar?
He arrived to find his front door jammed, so he and his driver tried to push their way through. A passerby in this neighborhood where
That's why it's
there's
important that you're scholars and anybody have
responded found
Draptomania.
Gates in his foyer. In a police report, the sergeant says Gates refused to step outside, asking why. Because I'm a black man in America? Gates showed his Harvard ID, but became angry, he says, when the sergeant refused to provide his name and badge number. The sergeant says he did, twice, but the Gates was belligerent. After repeating...
He could be like, well, at least I'm not Jewish. And then Obama got in trouble for speaking up for him, by the way. And Obama apologized. He said,
across America.
After he apologized,
Name brands.
come on, man.
A whole lot less. 3 trusted names.
Obama got in trouble for saying that Obama got in trouble for saying that the police acted stupidly.
Yeah, he got in trouble. You know, he also got in trouble for saying Trayvon Martin would look like his son if he had one, but
turn any
that's
text
a whole nother conversation. What he didn't say, what he said later, is black people deserve reparations because he knew he would have got in trouble for that.
Professor Gates and his attorney, both of them said Gates was very pleased by what Obama had to say. As for the arresting officer, he is unrepentant.
Trump wasn't in office yet. This was when racism was over, y'all.
The
2008.
Sergeant
We
James
made it at that point.
Boston Globe, he would not respond to President Obama's comment. But earlier, he had this to say about calls that he apologized.
We'll have to ask Mr. Gates has asked him for an apology. What is your reaction to that?
There will be no apology.
What? Say that again, Neanderthal male.
There will be no apology.
There will be no apology.
Hey, if 4 kids, if you remember, they all sat down and had a bill together.
I hope not. Oh, Obama too?
No, I'm saying no. They had it. They did. After that event, the 3 of them sat down and had a drunk bill together.
No, I'm saying
it was on TV. Obama, Henry Gates, and the white boy police officer.
Damn.
They all sat down together and had a beer and talked about it.
Oh damn! I need to see that joint. You need to send it to me. Oh man.
Hey, it was on that. It was on World News today. It was on TV.
Yeah, I ain't never seen that. Let me see. I don't know the cop. Obama. I don't know the cop name though. Let me see. Oh, here you go. James Crawley.
You got it?
Yeah, it's right on the screen. They probably ain't gonna have it on here. They're probably gonna have something I gotta look up. Oh, here we go. Damn,
And we're
this
going to
is
see
even
a
worse.
picture that a lot of us have been waiting.
Brother, you see what I'm saying? The white boy was right, man, about Draptomania. Because why would they ever leave this
And we're going to
good
see
math play
a
master?
picture that a lot of us have been waiting for, at least for a week since the president announced that he was going forward with this extraordinary meeting, at least a few days ago, last Friday, when the president announced he wanted to bring these two men
Way more doomed than I ever
Let's
thought.
take a look at it and then discuss. We've got a lot of people.
At least they got white servants, I guess. Damn. Oh, is that Joe Biden over there? He's like, this is the second clean Negro behind Obama. He's like, Obama, the first clean Negro I've ever seen, and Henry Louis Gates is the second. Well, nah, he ain't playing no more. He got arrested. This is crazy.
Thank you, everyone.
No wonder we didn't get no damn reparations when. And you said we's free when this happened, my brother. You was like, we's free.
Nigga, we ain't never been free.
That's what you was saying when this was going down. Oh Lord.
Been a theft and no one is in jail.
There are moments of real tension, moments of betrayal.
The old alliance between blacks and Jews, is that in jeopardy now?
Very much so.
It's dangerous to make it all the same.
The alliance, I guess, when we supported Israel.
Jewish people get to be white, all the privileges that implies.
And when the relationship disintegrates, the argument that's made by the African American community is that you had access to things that we never had.
I don't consider myself white. And when I once told our class that, they laughed in my face. You laughed in my face.
I did.
What do we want? When do we want it now?
So I decided, let's get into it. Let's just put it on the table and figure out what's left. Where is the area of overlap? Because anti-Semitism is not the same as anti-Black racism, but both are ever present, and they're not going to go.
Brother, this is all I could say to any of this stuff.
You know, it was a time when we used to meet evil on the battlefield, and guess what we did to it? We killed it. When the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, what do? We flew to Japan. And we killed the Japanese Army and Navy. I didn't start this fight, you did. You wanted to be left alone, you left me alone. We didn't argue and capitulate and talk about, well, maybe we shouldn't fight the Nazis that hard. No, they're bad. Killed them. Some
Only thing you're bad,
liberals are just going to say that sounds awful. Too bad.
too bad. There's gonna be some that say, what about the good ones? Too bad. Too bad.
Get mad at me if you want to. Some folks need killing for somebody to say it. It's not a matter of vengeance. It's not a matter of being mean or spiteful.
Right.
It's a matter of necessity.
Right.
We have wicked people doing wicked things, torturing and murdering and raping.
Facts.
It's time to call out those guys in green and go have
Guys
them.
in red, black, and
Boys
green.
in blue.
He couldn't say red, black, and green, but that's what he was trying to say.
Go handle it.
So,
GOP candidate. He's currently the lieutenant.
what you think about that, my brother?
You know, it was a time when we used to meet evil on the battlefield.
Okay. Yeah, well, you know,
Freezing up, we're gonna stop him.
Killed the Japanese Army and Navy.
All right, it's gonna stop in a second. It's messing up.
yeah, okay, well, you know, he's irrelevant. You know, don't think about nobody like him. But this is what I was thinking. I wanted to say while we was talking about the whole the black and Jewish relationship. Now I remember back. I'm old enough to remember. I know you was a little boy back then. When Dr. Khaled got into it with the Jews. You know what I'm saying? I remember when they censored him and everything. I remember all of that. Because it was in the news. It was in the news all the time. I mean, damn near every day for a while, for at least about 2-3 weeks. Okay. What I want to say is this for okay. We okay. We talk about this whole the black and Jewish relationship thing. We was talking about Henry Louis Gates. We talk everything. All of the information you just presented to us. Okay. Now they had this thing where they try to say like, well, the relationship was fractured like in the 90s, or in the late 60s, whatever. Because see, one thing we had to remember. Okay, you had a civil rights movement. You had the so-called civil rights movement, the so-called black civil rights movement. But Dr. Martin Luther King, them, and all of those brothers and sisters who led that movement in from the mid to late 50s into the 60s. You had the civil rights movement, but you also had the black cultural movement. Some people call it the Black Power movement. I call it the Black Cultural Awareness movement. Where you had like Brother Malcolm, and everybody who came after him, Mary Baraka and the Black Panther Party and all the revolutionaries, who we call the revolutionaries, we had that. So these were two different movements. Okay. So you had the old guard, what I call the civil rights movement, the old guard, who was basically financed by who? By white folks' money. And when I say white folks, I'm talking about Jews too, because I don't distinguish. White folks are Jews. I mean, Jews is white folks. You know what I'm saying? They the same thing. They just got a different religion. They white folks to me. They the same people. Now they might have their little old thing where they don't get along about whatever. The Anglos mad because the Anglo-Saxon white folk mad because y'all killed Jesus or whatever. All that old bullshit. But I'm saying they the same people to me though. They the same people to me, and they got the same agenda. Okay, so you had that movement that was financed by white. Dr. Martin Luther King that was financed by white folks. Just like in a parallel thing, you have on the continent at the same time from the 50s and the 60s, you know what I'm saying? The black civil rights movement, in South Africa was also funded by white folks, the ANC. Okay, because remember one thing, the ANC was ran by who? By a white Lithuanian Jew, a man named Joe Slovo. That's who ran the South African Communist Party. That's who ran the ANC. He ran it from behind the scenes. Okay, Jews ran the civil rights movement from behind the scenes. Martin Luther King and all those guys, A. Philip Randall, all these guys were all puppets. These were puppets.
Thurgood Marshall.
They were puppets. Okay, those guys were puppets. Okay, so we had to distinguish, because when we be talking about that movement, where they be throwing up stuff like, well, how the movement got fractured. Okay, see, like the black consciousness movement, the black cultural movement, the black power movement with Brother Malcolm them was way different from what Martin Luther King them was running. Well, you already know, I ain't got to tell you that. That was a different thing. That was more of a grassroots level thing. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the civil rights movement, all this stuff was ran by white money. Like I said, the NAACP was founded by Jews, by white folks. It was started by that. Because it was a movement called the Niagara Movement first, which was basically a black grassroots. I ain't gonna ever say grassroots, but it was by W.B. Du Bois and them. What they tell us, the 10th ideology. But I'm saying, but it was a black thing. But then they got co-opted, and the Niagara Movement evolved into the NAACP. And remember, this was like in 1909. Okay,
So
now
that's
really,
a prelude.
yeah. Now, if you think about it, now what really happened, okay, where the real split came was in 1915. The split came because see, this was the year that this white guy in Atlanta, Georgia, this white guy who was a Jewish activist, a Jewish community leader, and an activist got accused for rape. Well, he got accused, he got tried, convicted, and he got lynched for raping a little 13-year-old white girl. His name was Leo Frank. Now, he wasn't just a regular Jew. He was a leader of the Jewish community there. He was a Jewish community leader. Okay, now it was after that when this whole B'nai B'rith and ADA and all that shit came into play. Okay, see, now he got convicted on the word of a black man, or the guy who's a janitor, the brother who's a janitor. That's how he got convicted. Right then, that's when a split happened. Everything after that, it wasn't no division and stuff that happened after that. It was exploitation. It was the Jews running shit. You know what I'm saying? It was the Jew, like Dr. King, his memoirs, like his autobiography, whatever. You know, hell, was a Jewish man wrote that shit. Was the author of that shit. You know what I'm saying? They was controlling all of that shit. They was the money. Because the movie, you know, at that time, black folk, we ain't had no goddamn money to be spending on no supporting no Negro running around here, you know, doing all this whole shit, going across the country, doing all around the world. Yeah, that money came from the white folks. They founded it, and that's why it was always a non-violent thing. You know what I'm saying? Don't fight back and all that old bullshit right there. You know, let our blood run in the streets and all that jive shit. Because it was founded by them. And at the same time, we know the goddamn Jew, the man, that old evil ass Jew, the one who they named, they top award for the Spingarn Award. You know, Spingarn, this man for 40 years was spying on the black community. Came out in the FBI, you know, in what they call in the unclassified file. This Jew was spying on the black community for 40 years. He was spying and reporting back to the government all the shit that was happening. You know what I'm saying? And he was what? One of the co-founders, one of the founding members of the NAACP. Spingarn, more than Spingarn, whatever his name is. Yeah, he was one of the founders of it. And was spying the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Pretended to be your friend, but spying all the time. For 40 years, this man spied on black people. Telling them everything that was going on. Like with Snick and all of them, that when they was like, fuck what Dr. King them talking about, we finna go another way. You know what I'm saying? So this whole narrative thing, and just one other thing that I want to paint, because we have a lot of our brothers and sisters, you know, who come from that socialist paradigm, that socialist thing. And you always talking about socialism. But you know, them damn Jews was deep in socialism too. No, matter of fact, they accused Dr. King of being a socialist because the guy who was his real tight buddy, his friend, his main man, you know, like one of his main back, the guy who raised money for him and everything, was old white Jew, was supposed to be a socialist, a communist, a member of the Communist Party and everything. I can't think of the old cracker name right now. But I'm saying, we had to think, okay, now our brothers get up here in front of us and talk about all this old socialist shit and everything, and talking about Marxism and all this shit, and talking about capitalist systems and all this old bullshit. Okay, at the founding of what we know about Karl Marx, I ain't talking about that. But at the founding of the Soviet Union, you know what I'm saying? When after Lenin had died, and Stalin took over, and Stalin, who really was the architect of the Soviet state, or what became the Soviet Union. He was the architect of it. He was the one who created the Soviet state, and gave the world Soviet Marxism, Soviet communism. His main man was, guess who? His main man, the one who made sure everybody was on the same page, and if you wouldn't, the one who sent everybody to gulags and concentration camps, and took people out and shot them and buried them in mass graves, was a Jew. Old Jew, his main man was old Jew, who outlived him too. And his name was Lazar Kaganovich. It's a book about him. It's Lazar Kaganovich. Read the book check the book out. It's called The Wolf of the Kremlin. The Wolf of the Kremlin, Lazar Kaganovich. All of those pogroms, all those purges from the 1920s and 30s, the show trials where they killed between 10 and 20 million Russian people. And like millions of them died from starvation from the collectivization program. All of that shit was overseen by this white Jew, this old Jew named Lazar Kaganovich. He was the main man. He was the man who kept Stalin in power. He was the power after Stalin died up until the 60s, and when Khrushchev and them took over. Lazar Kaganovich, a Jew. Lazar as in Lazarus. And when Stalin was about to have a pogrom against the Jewish, because, you know, he was real, he had a real conspiracy kind of mind. He thought that the white Jewish doctors was poisoning. He went on a program and started killing all the goddamn white Jewish doctors. A Jew did it. Lazar Kaganovich, he the one did it. You know what I'm saying? So when they get to talk about some of this old bullshit, some of the stuff that they try to leave out, because a lot of our brothers and sisters from the socialist paradigm, they love to harp on Karl Marx and Marxism and, you know what I'm saying, and Jewish and all that old bullshit. But that's the kind of stuff that they don't ever talk about. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm so dead set against that ideology and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah.
Yeah. But look, I mean, I ain't mean to go around
No,
too much.
no,
You
you good. No,
I
you
ain't mean to
good.
hold.
Yeah, nah, we
I ain't mean
about
to.
to wrap it up. But
Yeah,
RBG came on
go
here,
ahead.
but we about to wrap it up in a minute. But go ahead, RBG, before we get off of here.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much. I just I appreciate what Anthony's saying. Like the whole basically a lot of that a lot of them ideologies was basically Jew on Jew for real. I mean, it's like a lot of self-hate and a lot of that ism over there. Like I'm glad Anthony mentioned that because see they will do actions in one aspect of their faith and one adherent, and then on the other side of the faith, you know what I'm saying, they'll then justify, what other people are doing. Exactly like with Hitler. I don't know something about Hitler's mom or grandma, you know what I'm saying? Hitler half Jew or something like that. It's self-hating. Now don't get it twisted, because I mean them Germans did kill black people too. But like a lot of that stuff was like own goals. You know what I'm saying? That was like a self-inflicted wound. And so when today you got people talking about anti-Semitism, they really need to think about, that self-hate, that Jew on Jew. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get everyone else to be like, don't hate on us. And when we sit here and say, you hate on yourself, like there's nothing to it. Like there's nothing to it. It's a lot of the compelling of trying to find something, find sympathy with the greater masses of Jewry, when amongst themselves they got their own schisms and how they want to. Even the founding of Israel was all kinds of like, well, we'll kind of go at it like medium colonialism versus, well, maybe we need to step it up a little bit more, and then versus like, oh, we just need to purge everyone. That is a lot of what's going on with them. It's like harder or hardest about it, about how they go about what they do. I as a black man, as an African, the more you look at history, that's just the more I see. It's like, yo, that ain't got nothing to do with anyone but themselves, and various factions within themselves trying to compel other people outside of them to have favor with what one or the other's doing. That's it. That's all.
Hey, look here, check it out. I want to say something connecting to right after what RGB said. Because I want to ask y'all a question. Okay, both y'all, RBG, you, and Forecast. Okay, I want to ask you a question. Give me a real brief yes or whatever, because I want to go into what I'm talking about. I want to show you something. Okay, when do you just anytime you feel like any way you could think of. When do you put the start of anti-Semitism? Either one of you brothers, both of y'all brothers.
Well, I mean that's kind of loaded. If we're talking about what we're talking about in a modern sense, I would probably say
I'm talking about in an overall sense. Anywhere, it don't matter today, whatever.
Oh, geez, probably 0 AD.
Okay, what's yours, Forecast?
I'm gonna say what this brother said.
Who spoke Arabic? Those are our people. We are.
No, but I want to hear what you got to say.
No, this is my answer right here.
Just learn off the past and not make high school.
I agree with his answer.
Sir, you wanted to say. Sir, right here. Yes, sir.
I like to see us lay to rest this whole notion of anti-Semitism. The one thing that is an incorrect statement, because the whole idea of a Semites were people who lived in southwestern Asia, including Northeast Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, who spoke Ugaritic, who spoke Ge'ez, who spoke Ethiopic, spoke Hebrew, who spoke Arabic. Those are our people. We are a Semitic people. Therefore, we cannot be anti-Semitic. Ashkenazic Jews are calling us anti-Semitic. We cannot be anti-Semitic because we are the descendants of a Semitic people. Let's lay that to rest. That was a weapon in the hands of the Jews since 1870. They used it against
Okay, 1870.
Okay, all right, okay, okay. I'm gonna get to my point, but first I want to say the elder, he was kind of a little wrong. He wasn't 100% right on that. You know, we not Semitic people. Semitic was no African language. No, that was not in Ethiopia. Ethiopia, Ge'ez, the official language, is a Semitic language. No, a base because of Arabic people from Southern Arabia, colonized in that part of Africa at one time and made that language that. You know what I'm saying? There were people from the Arabian Peninsula who colonized, who settled in Ethiopia and blended with the Africans. You know what I'm saying? And the language, Ge'ez, became the official language that it is today, Ge'ez. Okay, so yes, Ethiopia's official language is a language that's based in Semitic languages from Southwestern Asia. That's a fact. That's a fact. But that doesn't make us Semitic people. That's the point he got wrong. Okay.
Yeah, that's like saying that we're Anglos because we speak English.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, but this is what I'm saying. And I'm going back. See, I'm going back in a circle because see, forecast. I'm going back to you about the whole spooked out thing. This anti-Semitism thing came from the Bible. Now, if you read about it, look here. It's one particular story that you read about the Babylonian captivity. But when the Babylonian king, which they call him Nebuchadnezzar. You know, we know his name was Nabuchodonosor. Okay, who had invaded and conquered Judea, captured Jerusalem, and deported, supposed to deported 40, 50,000, whatever have been, Jewish people, Hebrew people back to Babylonia. You know, and we've read throughout in school, all of us in school have read them little poems, like By the Waters of Babylon and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? When they talk about the exile, the Babylonian exile. See, this here is the original basis of where they come with the modern anti-Semitism thing. You know, this big, powerful nation, the Babylonians come over here picking on the poor Jews, we God's people, all that shit, and bringing us over here. And then, later on with Cyrus, the Persian king, defeating Babylon and allowing us to go back, you know what I'm saying? Which is some of the early part of the messianic type of shit. You know what I'm saying? That came out the book of Isaiah. Okay. What I'm saying is they use that shit there, right there, from the biblical, from that biblical point of view, for an agenda that they've been using for a long time. But this is the thing. Okay, now remember, we talking about anti-Semitism, anti-Semitic. And see, for those of us who know, when we hear those words, we know what it is. We don't get crazy and like some Henry Louis Gates and everything. So you talking about Jewish people, we know that that Semitic is a language. There were Semitic people all across that whole region of Southwestern Asia, and it's in the Arabian Peninsula, in Iraq, you know what I'm saying, parts of like Western Iran, and into Syria and Palestine, all that area. All of those people were Semitic people. You know what I'm saying? The Amorites, all these different people, the Canaanites, all these people were Semitic people. They spoke, a language. Their language are the Phoenicians. All these languages, these were Semitic people. And another thing, the Babylonians, the very Babylonians who enslaved, who defeated, who conquered Judea and destroyed Jerusalem and destroyed the temple and carried away the ark. These people, the Babylonians, are Semitic people. You know what I'm saying? Ancient Babylonian his language is Semitic. It's related to like Arabic. Arabic is today. Arabic comes from those ancient Semitic languages. You know what I'm saying? They had a language back then that was a lingua franca called Aramaic. Sometimes they call it Syriac. Later they call it Hebraic in ways when they started translating the Bible, during the Roman periods when they adopted Christianity, they started translating the Bible into Latin, into Greek and then Latin. You know what I'm saying? Where they translated from Aramaic and Hebraic at first. You know what I'm saying? See, all of these languages were the same people say. So I'm saying like the Babylonians were Semitic people. So if you say I'm an anti-Semite, am I an anti-Babylonian? Do I hate Babylonians? Do I hate Assyrians? You know what I'm saying? The ancient Assyrian Empire. These two powerful nations are known as imperial nations who oppressed the Israelite people. You see where I'm coming from? How they had an agenda? You know what I'm saying? Forecast. Okay, bless you. How they had an agenda?
Yeah.
How there's a whole agenda base. But I'm saying the very people who they talk about oppressed, they paint the picture as these powerful nations, the Babylonians and the Assyrians, were also Semitic speaking people, just like them. And even if you read in their genealogy in the Bible, you see where they are related.
But my thing is like, for me, when I see Semitic, I think of like, I see it on multiple filters, right? On the top level, I think mixed race people. I think semi, right, off the top. And so when the Jews talk about anti-Semitism, they'll put the specter of some kind of mixed person, you know what I'm saying, with them curls or something like that, you know what I'm saying, them that Greek curl or something like that. They'll have that sense of, oh, you don't like people who are kind of like differentish, even though a lot of these people up in Israel are blonde hair, blue eye, you know what I'm saying, they'll put that out as a front. Oh, you don't, you know, it's like they use themselves as human shield, right? Yeah, if you can dig it. In a lot of cases, they kind of do that. They'll say, "Oh, look at this typical Jew who's out here. Oh, this person, like you're against him with that kind of sensibilities." It's always veiled and imprecise, but it's like, "Oh, you're anti." You see what I'm saying is, and if you know the term is of biblical sense, and you have the Hamites and the Semites and the Japhets and all that. Well, you know what I'm saying? You're anti this ambiguous group of people, even though, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people who say that aren't, you know, they use, again, like you say, this the factions within Judaism where they go at each other looking for outsiders to sympathize with causes and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, I agree with y'all, but so I'm about to get off of here, but I'll just let this speak for us.
Why don't we talk about how the merchant Jews come into our black neighborhoods and they suck the life and the money out of our neighborhoods and put it back into their neighborhoods?
At the end of the day, we are what we are. We still got to do what we got to
First
do.
of all, I'd like to say peace to all the gods and earths. And all the
Peace,
people
God.
to represent. Brother Khalid is definitely a true warrior in the cause of black struggle. What I'd like to say as a young black youth is that I feel that America has subjected me to a Holocaust. You understand? From all my ancestors all the way back to even right now, Rodney King, the brother Staten Island, all we've been subject to is death and destruction here. And as far as Jewish people in the Bible, it say that ye are of the synagogue of Satan. And I'd like to ask you people, why do you feel that you have cornered the market on sympathy? And why can't you feel the pain of the black Holocaust? Why do you think that when we say the black Holocaust, that it's some blasphemous statement? I'd like for y'all to address that. Yeah.
Word, peace, God, definitely, God. You know, and at the end of the day, that's what we are. You know what I'm saying? They are in our community, they taking our stuff, and we are fighting for everybody but ourselves. But I'll let y'all brothers wrap up. RBG, you can't. I'll let my brother go last or first if you want, because since he came on first. But
Yeah. Let me just thanks for, you know what I'm saying, having me jump on real quick, because it's always a very just broad topic. I mean, you talking about Draptomania. I didn't even see the first half, but we talking about Draptomania. You know what I'm saying? People trying to escape from reality, escape from, you know, a sense, you know, falsehoods and just wickedness, and you know what I'm saying, and all these ideas that, you know what I'm saying, we come across, you know what I'm saying, day to day. You always gotta like find a way to like break through and kind of like release yourself from, you know, the foreign, the unnatural and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like if something don't feel right, you know what I'm saying, what's going on in the world, you gotta say something about it. You gotta look at the history. You see patterns a lot of times in history. You see what's going on now. A lot of times, a lot of ploys and plays that they try to do on people, you can see analogs in the past during certain conditions. You know, people tend to do a lot of the same things. So that's why you say you gotta learn you gotta learn history. You gotta learn from the past. So you don't make same mistakes. Thanks, bro.
no, facts, my brother.
Hey, RDG, if you had something else to say, go ahead on, man. I can wait. Go ahead.
It's just again, like with Draptomania, it's just the ideas, you know what I'm saying, a lot of what's going on today, I'll say, with technology. You know, I'm an 80s baby, you know what I'm saying? I grew up just with the beginnings of computers. Now we see all these computers controlling us, you know what I'm saying? All these apps, everything is controlled with tech, and it's just like a sense to like, how do we live our lives without being like so bound up by a lot of stuff, and these, you know, rich folks and some of them people, some of them hats and whatnot, you know, running all this shit once again. It's like, you know, always got to try to stay ahead of the play and try to like anticipate and that's just my thing. Try to anticipate, how you get ahead of a situation. Even if you're in the midst of it, how do you just sometimes just move slightly? Sometimes just a slight move is enough. Sometimes you really gotta make a move. You gotta make a big move, but knowing how to like break free of a lot of the pretense. It's just a lot of pretense. These motherfuckers crying over some shit that ain't really that what happened. The whole Holocaust is fake as fuck. These people did not die by 6 million. They said, again, the whole Jewish officer self-on-self type shit. Once you really know that, it's like you don't have to feel bad and be all caught up in feelings and apprehensions and stuff. You know what I'm saying? This was that's what I draw from it. That's when I see stuff like this. It's just in the modern day. Like, what do you got to do to break free from just the bullshit? That's all you can do, and just learn from the past and just keep moving forward.
All right, go ahead, my brother Anthony.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's 100 right there, RBG. Man, I love to hear RBG, make his points, man, because he got his own style. You know what I'm saying? But he get his point, but he get his point across, though. You know what I'm saying? He get his point across, man. It's always great to hear from him, man. I'm glad you came in, bro. But yeah, man, it was we had a great conversation, man, and big up to you Forecast, man, for inviting us on and everything, open up the program, open up the conversation, discussion for us, man. Peace to the Major, peace to Considera, peace to Queen Mother Raw, and everybody in the chat, man. And everybody don't forget to check out the book, The History of Racism. You know what I'm saying? By our brother, the Forecast. Man, it's been real, man. I had a good time, man. We had a great conversation, man, as always, man. You my brother, man. And RBG, my brother, and all y'all my brothers and sisters, man. And just peace, man. Peace. Y'all have a good weekend, man.
All right, definitely, my brother. I appreciate you coming on, RBG. Shouts out to y'all for coming on here. Shouts out to Raw for being here for the whole time. You already know it's all love, Raw. So shouts out to Matron who was in the building. Y'all subscribe to Matron. She reading the Delectable Negro. So make sure y'all subscribe and listen to that. It's definitely interesting.
Yeah, I've been on that every night.
Yeah, so shouts out to her. Shouts out to Karma 804. Shouts out to Considera. We definitely gonna be back on Wednesday. Shouts out to Koku. Shouts out to Bawana who was in the building too. Bawana was in here. Shouts out to Bawana. Erica Howard,
Shout
my
out,
brother
Bawana.
Car, And for my last words, I was going to say this, but it's too long and it's too much cussing for real, for real. So I will let this, I will let these be my last words from these two brothers.
I frankly believe that every Negro in the country should learn judo and karate. How about carrying a weapon? If it's
Oh, shouts out to KW Don 7 in the
held
building
a
and
profession, a
MG2.
rifle or a shotgun, especially faced with what Negroes in this country are confronted with, they should have it. They shouldn't go out attacking someone with it, but in the face of the brutality that our people encounter, it's not unjust to teach a Negro to have a shotgun or a rifle in his house. What if it
Oh, my bad, y'all.
High tonight. High tonight. High tonight. High tonight. I'm at the house on the couch and I'm trying to relax.
All right, my bad. This got to be the last word.
Flashback visions in my mind about the rifle cut down. I just killed a cracker and his kids the other day.
I was wondering about our yesterdays and digging through the rubble. And to say the least, somebody went to
that's been trapped inside of me from slavery. Years of the white man oppressing me. I stuck up on his ass fast to attack. I put on my shank, I stuck a heart to his back. I said, move,
I was wondering about our
motherfucker.
yesterdays and digging through the rubble. And to say the least, somebody went to a hell of a lot of trouble to make sure that when we looked things up, we wouldn't fare too well. and we would come up with totally unreliable pictures of ourselves. But I've compiled what few facts I could, I mean, such as they are, to see if we could find out a little bit of something, and this is what I got so far. First, white folks discovered Africa. They claimed it fair and square. Cecil Rhodes couldn't have been robbing nobody because, hell, there wasn't nobody there. And white folks brought all the civilization because there wasn't none around. How could the folks be civilized when wasn't nobody writing nothing down? And just to prove all of their suspicions, well, didn't take too long. They found out that there were whole tribes of people in plain sight running around with no clothes on. That's right. The men, the women, the young, and the old righteous folks covered their eyes, and no time was spent considering the environment. Hell no, this just wasn't civilized. And another piece of information they had, or at least this is what we were taught, is that unlike the civilized people of Europe, these tribal units actually fought. And yes, there was some crude implements, and yes, there was primitive art, and yes, they were masters of hunting and fishing, and courtesy came from the heart. And yes, there was love and medicine, religion, intertribal communication by drum, but no paper, no pencils, and no other utensils. And hell, these folks never even heard of a gun. And this is why the colonies came, to stabilize the land, because the dark continent had copper and gold, and the discoverers had themselves a plan. They would discover all the places with promise. You didn't need no titles and deeds. Then they would appoint people to make everything legal, to sanction the trickery and greed. And back in the jungle, when the natives got restless, they would call it guerrilla attack. And they would never describe that the folks finally got wise and decided that they would fight back. And still, we are victims of word games. Semantics is always a bitch. Places once referred to as underdeveloped are now called mineral rich. And the game goes on eternally. Unity kept just beyond reach. Egypt and Libya used to be in Africa. They've now been moved to the Middle East. There are examples galore, I assure you. But if interpreting were left up to me, I'd be sure every time folks knew this version wasn't mine, which is why it is called his story.
Facts, brother, facts. So as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.